everyone, welcome into here, Nashim, and hi. Do you mind not interrupting me, mate? I'm trying to stream here. Itty, for goodness sake. Jeez, let's stay professional, maybe, for the stream. How about that? My goodness, honestly, amateurs these days, just all amateurs. As I was saying, hello everyone, welcome to Nashim. Hi Lemon, hi Tana, hi Mega Techno, YT, hi Stump, hi Verdrick, hi Duck, hi Ta, hi Kurika, hi welcome, hi Itty.
Hi.
Honestly, kids these days, no respect for their elders, just ridiculous.
Oh,
And
of course. Yeah, I just wanted to say hi. Bye.
Well, never mind then. Well, there goes it. Okay, well, then I guess I'm a lot. Well, I suppose that's what linear algebra does to motherfucker, isn't it? Just all alone at this point. So today we'll be doing linear algebra. It's gonna be fun. What happened to Postron? Timon is busy sleeping, apparently. Hi, the Thar, by the way. Hi, welcome. Hi, Lemon. Hi. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you too. First time in the live, but I love your videos. Oh, thank you, Joseph. Thank you. I'm glad you like them. Now, on the stream, we will actually be working on another video, and this time we won't exactly be animating, although there might be some animations still. That's because I don't really like wasting time, so we might still render some stuff. Like, for example, right here, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, let me check the script for this video. Algebraic linearity. I mean, we will be actually, the first two segments are about what is linear and what is algebra. So, I mean, kind of, fundamental theorem of algebra. And actually, I'd like to show the proof for it. You finally understand bracket notation for quantum mechanics. It's really underwhelming, isn't it? Like, when you finally get to it, it really is underwhelming. Yeah. The thing is, physicists are really proud of the bracket notation because it's a pun, it's bracket. But when you actually get down to it, it's just, it's not that impressive. Anyway, this L, we wanna key it by selection. Wait, do we wanna go 70? No, we do not. We wanted to go to 50. Hold on. Like this, like this, like this, and then right here, what we would want is this. To copy yourself right here as a 2, then assign null. Perfect. Then Control J, and actually no, not Control J. This one at 50, we want this white to be its own shader. We want it to disappear. Perfect. And then we want every single L to be a separate thing. Perfection. This is my first stream in a while. Oh, welcome back, mate. I remember, yeah? Okay. Now this L will go to this 2. They will both disappear. So like this. And like this. Well, that looks really dumb. Yeah, that looks dumb. Okay. This way, maybe it's because of the origins, the weird spot. Okay, 60. This will disappear. That's perfect. And then right here, we want it to, well, just vanish away. 1, 0. That's length 2, which means this as well. We want it to have length 2. And that way, they will disappear. Lovely. Then, why is the random particle of light there? Oh, you have got to be kidding me. You have got to be joshing me. There we go. Then these disappear. Then this one, right here, we want to also go this way. except land at like 75, and right here is where we want its alpha. Be 1, so length 3, and then disappear. It's really just a fancy way to write vector, convector, and in the product stuff. It really is, yeah. That's why I said underwhelming. It really is just underwhelming. They just really wanted it to be a pun, I think. Hold on, what's going on? Oh, well, what's all this then? Length 2, there we go. Sweet, and then this goes in right here, this disappears. As this starts disappearing, so would this white thing, so we want 2 whites. The other white, we want a white too, and we want it to be this one. There we go, and we want it to also disappear. Perfect. And then this is as the last L. Get over here. Length, different one. And then you disappear. Whilst you... Which one is it? 2? No. Length? No. What is this material? Uh-oh. I've done it now. Some kind of length that... Oh, it's null. I'm an idiot. Okay, makes sense. And so what we want is we want another length. Once again, separate. And right here. Keyframe this. Keyframe this at 0, keyframe this at 1, and I'm practically done, almost finished, just need to apply it right here. And there we go, we have the animation going of how multiplying it by else is slowly removing everything and adding the square. This is dang good animation. Oh, I am so good at what I do. Okay, render animation, sweet. Now we can get into linear algebra.
Make it.
Yeah.
I had one question left. Are you planning to do an ancient city anytime soon? Maybe on stream?
Do they have any loot other than the sneak one? Because
Yes.
what other loot they have?
It's one of the most fun things to do in Minecraft right now.
Is it? I don't get the ancient cities all that much. Because don't they only have the sneak, the quick sneak thing as the, like, what the other loot is there?
Sneak, all kinds of discs, special compasses, some other fun loot, some potions, and some cool new materials.
Well, I'll be honest, I haven't really been planning. And why are you asking?
It might be fun to do it on stream with mod voice chat. So if you talk, you trigger the triggers also.
Oh, that's a maybe.
Oh, well, that's just a question I had. Maybe it'd be fun on stream.
No, that's a maybe. Alright, good night again, bye. Alright, I bent my finger with soldering iron, and now I got a lot of fluid on my skin. Should I pop it? Not yet, not yet. Give it an additional day or 2. That fluid is there for a reason. Give it an additional day or 2, because otherwise you might get an infection, it's gonna get nasty. This sentence can be proven true, cannot be proven true, but isn't false. Wait, what? The sentence, this sentence cannot be proven true. Cannot be proven true, but isn't false. This requires too much thinking. I don't like that. I'm about to do maths. I don't want to think about logic too. Hi, the ninja. Hi. Hi there. Ooh. I'm getting more vitamins. Okay, so. Linear. Linear is the first thing we're going to deal with, and for that, we would want the linear chapter. What is linear algebra? Is that what we'll be dealing with? Well, definition of stuff that are linear. So, linear. linear maths. So what we're looking for, of course, and oh, it's the same graphic. It's funny. Makes sense, I guess. Finally explain in a way you understand. Lemon, you certain? Because I don't. Are you certain? I mean, you can try, I guess. It's this, right? That's linear. Are you Slavic? Yeah, you got that right. Like in music? No, not quite, mate. Not quite like music. Yeah, control engineer. What do you mean control engineer? Not quite. I don't know quite what that means. Okay, what we're looking for is the concept of linearity, linear equations. Okay, there we go. Real numbers. So just linear equations. That's it. Mm-hmm. We get control electronically. Linear algebra is important in a lot of places. Hence why the video about linear algebra. Because that's the one that won the poll, correct? If I'm not mistaken. I do believe the linear algebra one. Let me check. Why do I have so many gay memes on my main? This one, there we go. How math becomes difficult to linear algebra. Which requires me to actually in depth understand linear algebra in a way that will allow me to visualize it. So first the concept of linear, then obviously what I would prefer is linearity mathematical definition. Could I have the mathematical definition, please? Example, no, mathematics, linear maps. Satisfies two properties. Additivity, homogeneity. Okay, cool. Sick, nice, lovely. Linear map, linear function does not matter, so let's go for it. Looks like this. And then we're going to have two requirements, which are both these. So these are just the linear requirements we've added at the bottom. And then there's this one, which, if I'm not mistaken, that's just... Actually, no. The first one is obvious, then we have the consequence of the two. So I guess we can just copy these two. Right? Which looks like this. And then we have these equations, and then what we need to do is explain what they mean exactly. Okay. Now have a sip. Oh boy, isn't this a thrilling live stream? Will we have to have library text? Texas University. Fine, I'll settle. It will be the central module of this course because most of the general purpose method for solving equations can only be used directly on linear equations. Linear equations and those equations involving linear operators we will define later. For now, we have the simplest example, a linear function in one dimension, which is, oh boy, that is a bit more tight of a definition, I suppose. Unless I'm in this. No pressure, I'm just gonna be convincing my teacher to use your videos as educational material. Videos? If you... Actually, I don't know. Yeah, you know what? That's on you. I mean, this video might be pretty solid because, I mean, I'm going with, you know, this. So to clarify, I know what complex numbers, but those formulas I gave do indeed work for real numbers. Hold on. I think top chat, yeah, just took him away. Oh, brand cat. Wait, what? So it's like for switching rank. Oh, I see. Use any AI tools? No. No. We call it f function if with two f's, so it's like a hyper if. It has both the following properties. So this one and this one. Makes sense. Let's add it in then. F alpha x is equal to alpha. I can't type apparently. Alpha fx, which is which character was it? Set notation. Math set characters LaTeX. Please subways with a clip in the corner and your rotation will skyrocket. We're not going to use LaTeX. Rest of LaTeX mathematical symbol sets. That's what I'm looking for. I can't focus for some reason. Is that the same list could we have for sets? There we go. And what we are looking for is no under for all. Okay. For all. I always forget how the other one's called. It's in. And this one is ni. That's hilarious. I love it. Okay, so alpha fx for all x that are in real. Haha, I'm a genius. Okay, alpha, which is also in real. I hope I'm using the right character. Make cool physics videos. Thank you. Glad you like them. Geometry system with the lowest damage, so I understand. Still confusing. Is live chat on? Make it. I just switched to it. Don't worry. Unless I regret that, and I don't know, my memory isn't quite what it used to be. Okay, so the first one basically states that, you know, you can take out, when you multiply something by x, you can take it out of the function, which certainly makes sense. I would say so. I would say it makes sense in the linear equation because you don't have any quadratics to scale it weirdly, you don't have any exponentials to scale it weirdly, so it makes sense. Then we have fx plus y is equal to f of x plus f of y for all x that are in real numbers. I really hope I'm using the right character, and for all y that are in real numbers. Are you grandson of Nikita Khrushchev? That's so specific. Not quite, MD, not quite. I guess to merge the page for music was of the page for raising and lowering indices. That's cool then. Evaluation of commutes with the first property can be described as evaluation of f commutes with multiplication by a constant. Evaluation of f distributes over addition. That is an okay. Okay. A function that is not linear is called nonlinear. Proof by contradiction. Of what? Wait, what are we proving? Oh no, that's just example of proof by contradiction. Okay, hold on. What about linearity for complex numbers? Make it invent a Nikita Khrushchev. Exactly. MIT. I don't mind, certainly. Complex numbers, but what I'm looking for is linearity. It shouldn't change anything, should it? Grandpa Nikita would be proud. Should it matter? Wait, hold on. If you have this, if you have an x as if it's in a complex plane, is x will wait. If you have a z, okay. If you have this as a z in a complex plane, then would multiplying it, taking it out, yeah, you could still do it, couldn't you? Because you add taking the I, multiply by I, it doesn't matter because you're multiplying it by sort of both times. That's pretty cool. Z with 2 lines? No way. Okay, makes sense. Oh no, complex conjugate with a bar on the top. Ah, my weakness. Okay, then that makes sense because it's complex conjugate of a complex conjugate. Okay, that checks out, but still. Oof, that's rough. I don't like that 2017 is 8 years ago. Yeah.
What? No, that cannot be accurate.
2015 was a decade ago, yeah.
No, I'm getting too old.
Theory for fission physics was from 8 years ago. Can you believe that 2004 was already 7 months ago? It's ridiculous. Okay.
I believe that 2000 was a year ago.
Can you believe that Half-Life 2 came out 2 years ago? That's mad. It's like it was just yesterday.
Yep.
Wait, is there any difference between complex linearity and real linearity? I don't get it. Because they specifically specified it for the real numbers. It's quite an in-depth PDF. I like this. It's quite a lovely PDF. The only pickle is I might do some quick video about it as well, but doesn't matter. Okay, so is there any difference between linear, real linear? Okay, for C as I don't know. I'm pinging Reblox. I don't care. It's only 11 p.m. I'm certain Reblox is up. Reblox! I've got a question. Is this the entire definition of linear maps slash functions? And
Please
do it.
get more math ASMR.
No, every single time Roblox has a math ASMR, I get a massive headache because it's just too much insanity for me.
Every time I feel nice after because his voice is nice.
Roblox summon D at once, exactly. Unless Lemon, unless you can tell me, do it generalize to the complex plane? Do it be generalizing? Lemon as our substitute Reblax. Reblax is my mathematics expert. My personal mathematician to bug about random questions about generalizing to a complex plane. He's a French. I'm screenshotting that and sending it under my requests. I just want. There we go. Do it be generalizing? So we see this will never allow TAZ equal to ATZ with A and C. So my guess is it doesn't, right? Because I mean TZ. Well, that's kind of a pickle, I do have to say.
Wait, so did they just lose like some like important math property?
No. Just right here, they're talking about real numbers. But in the textbook I'll be using for a video, they also will talk about complex numbers. And so basically, I'm trying to end, but in this textbook they don't explain linearity because they just assume it's so obvious that everyone reading it will know what it is. Which I mean, I should.
Linearity stream.
I should doesn't mean I will. No, maybe they explain it somewhere. Hold on. Am I crazy? I'm off-coming, of course I'm crazy. It's just, okay, the exercise, that's it. Linearity. Okay, I don't think it's there. Yep, don't care about an introduction to complex numbers. What about complex numbers? Operations and complex numbers. How about linear operations and complex numbers? How about that? Ooh. This is just a simple linear. How a simple linear function works with real numbers. Not made up numbers like the imaginary ones, only real. No, it works with real numbers. Translates to this. Oh boy. Okay. How would I explain it? How would I explain it? That's a good question. Making this from space, actually. Yeah. Little known fact, if you're from outer space, then actually by legal standards you're considered Slavic. But what did you study before
Because
during
I
this
thought
study?
you were from the sun.
It's in space. What do you, wait, what do you mean? I just said, wait, I thought you were from the sun, which, common knowledge, is not in fact in space. It's hanging on the dome that, you know, flat Earth is in. I'm sorry if you've mentioned this before, but what did you study before / during you started making videos? Nothing, actually. Nothing. I'm self-taught of everything. I haven't been studying nothing. Real. Why is there someone? There's someone up to some funky business outside my apartment. I can just... What the heck are they doing? It sounds like they're dragging a seal up the stairs or something. I don't want to guess. translates simple. Just mean that with real numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4.5, 7 elevenths, pi e, so on and so forth. And basically saying that x and alpha is that kind of number. Alright. Dead body, maybe. No, my neighbors aren't amateurs. They wouldn't be dragging a dead body through the thing. Come on. Give them some credit.
Yeah, that would be you, not your neighbors.
I'm not an amateur either. I'm not gonna waste any food. I'm not gonna waste any food in this economy.
Oh, fair point. You'd be using the body as food.
Yeah, I mean, I have bread. I don't have any meat yet. My favorite is probably authentic Mexican burritos. That's a fair one, but let's be honest, the Italian, just nothing beats Italian. You can't. They've managed to perfect cuisine. It's incredible.
No, India did. What do you mean?
No, not really. It is fine, but I mean, it can't be Italian. You can't improve upon perfection.
Then it's not food.
Yeah, you can have spicy Italian. What the fuck are they doing out there? Because this time the sound came from the direction of my kitchen, which is on the opposite side of my entrance door. Are they in my walls? Or did I not take my pills? It could be either. It could be either. I prefer inauthentic Mexican burritos. I love chemicals in my bread.
I mean, you gotta get that heart stroke somehow.
Okay, this. Then you just delete this. Let's do 430. All the L's, delete them. Because I don't take no L's. Delete this as well.
L isn't. No, it wasn't. Never mind.
This 2 is way too small. That's a comically small 2. And that's a comically small T. It's a bit of a mess. Oh well, who's gonna mind? It's fine, whatever.
Yeah, nobody will notice.
Yeah, exactly. No, but just whatever. You know what? I want everyone to.
They will notice now that you said it, but
At the same time, this is just a strategy because everyone will notice, everyone will mention it in the comments, and then this is just gonna, work for the algorithm. It's gonna be higher engagement.
It would be even better for the algorithm if you got people commenting on your video with just like random like hot topic in the YouTube algorithm right now.
Why?
It would get more people to see your video and to get it recommended with
Why?
more people watching.
Why?
Well, I mean, one person's already doing it, so.
I'm not just gonna stop them, but I mean, I just want to see the research behind this. Americans.
Some like random British YouTuber figured it out.
Hold on, what did MD just say? As Germans perfected cars, Russians perfected weapons, Italians perfected food, Americans perfected sex. Americans very much did not perfect sex. Come on. They're still working on it.
Americans perfected being bad.
Yeah.
Inferior.
Yeah. I'm easily pleased. Like you don't need to say much to make me. You just need to crap on the Americans, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like one step away from being American, but even then, I can still shit on them.
I have heard, by the way, about the spiffing Brit video about like the YouTube algorithm, but I'm skeptical
Yeah.
because this is basically an extremely popular YouTuber giving tips on how to like win over the algorithm. And actually, it's not an extremely popular. It's a popular YouTuber, and I am really skeptical with that kind of thing because I mean, he's not the most popular. Like, buddy.
To win, you must make the others fail. So he's actually just giving anti-advice, which will make your video perform worse.
But I mean, like, no. What I mean is, like, you know, every single time I get this video recommended, I just don't watch them because I find the thumbnails unbearable.
For today.
The YouTube algorithm is broken has less than 1 million views. Like, if you want to convince me that there is some secret trick, then you need more views than that, okay? Like, oh my goodness, Legal Eagle Honey video has 7 million views, and he didn't do any of these tricks. So, like, I don't know. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. We are very good at being bad, can confirm. There is no way to prevent this, said the only country where this is a problem. Yeah. Same going over there from the previous one, so we'll have less views. I still don't trust it. Like, if you claim to hack the YouTube algorithm, shouldn't every single one of your videos have millions of views? Or am I the crazy one? Or is he just not using the tricks?
Doesn't care about views.
Yeah, and you know, just is devoting all of his time to figuring out how to get those views for the sake of, I don't know. What kind of research is that?
Purposes.
This is research about the algorithm that was manufactured. I don't trust it. I really don't trust it. He's not using the tricks on the other vids. Okay, but like, did he account for the clickbait of his video? Has to do with the nature of the trick. I don't buy it. I just simply don't buy it. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let me give you the argument why I don't buy it, okay? Hold on.
For today's video,
Shut up, buddy. Don't care. One of these YouTubers is using these tricks on some of his videos to like beat the algorithm. The other one is just making videos. Can you see why I don't buy it? And Legal Eagle has less subscriptions, has less subscribers. Can you see why I don't buy it? Like, this video...
One of them is about things that matter, and one of them isn't.
It's still gaming. You want me to bring up Markiplier?
Markiplier had many more years.
Okay, do you want me? Okay, you want me to bring out Let's Game It Out?
I don't even know that game.
Oh, it's fine. I can bring it up for you. There we go. 6 million, around the same one. Let's Game It Out is getting like 2 millions, 3 millions, 4 millions on each and every single video. I mean, am I crazy here, or are these tricks, let's just say, suboptimal? Look at the Let's Game It Out thumbnails. They don't have any arrows. They're all screenshots from the video. All of these are just screenshots from the video. And the title was just describe what happened in the video. That's it. Am I crazy?
I don't know. Ask live chat.
I'm not even streaming. No one's watching. I'm just alone in my room. I'm just schizophrenic.
No, I'm.
Hey,
here.
chat.
I'm a voice in your head.
Hey, chat. Am I crazy? Chat. Am I crazy? Get a bunch of extra time to it, and then kind of post it. If you had a bunch of extra time to it, then kind of you post it. That's the deep of against being popular. No, I think he is just wrong. That's much more simple than that. I think he is just wrong. I think the reason why this video has 4 million views isn't because of any fancy tricks, only because it's clickbait. The thumbnail literally says you can't watch this video. That's called clickbait. That's not a fancy trick. It's clickbait because you can watch this video. I don't know. I just don't buy it. I simply do not buy it.
Alright, then prove it. Click that video and watch it.
No, I refuse to watch any videos of the Spiffing Brit simply because I don't want to add in more views. It's I am so for proving Spiffing Brit wrong that I've never seen any one of their videos. What's your educational background of interest, my friend? I don't have any, obviously. This game is...
No, you were born with that brain, so that's your background.
Yeah, I'm just omnipotent and omniscient.
I mean, I thought we covered it.
The cat video is down to 30 minutes. You get 100% watch time because you can't watch all of it. The math checks out. Yeah, but Stump, have you considered that the YouTube algorithm might account for that? Like, have you considered that YouTube doesn't want for there to be any tricks like these? Because the YouTube algorithm is actually made... First of all, I am pretty certain that the YouTube algorithm is not an algorithm at all. I'm pretty certain it's a neural net at this point. And if...
What's the difference?
The difference is algorithm is like a set of rules, whilst the neural net is well, a network of neurons that's like constantly learning. So for an algorithm... So basically for an algorithm, it is much easier to find these kinds of exploits because you can just do math and figure them out. For a neural network, you can't. Or rather, it's way more difficult to do it using logic.
Changing.
Yeah, well, the thing is, most neural networks aren't constantly changing. However, I'm pretty certain the one that YouTube is using is constantly changing, simply because it's actually... This is an educated guess. I don't want to make that clear. However, basically, the way it would work is that you have like millions of people watching YouTube, right? You have millions of people watching YouTube. Then every single person has their own slightly different AI that is responsible for their main page. And then you have the learning process, which removes all of the AIs that aren't good enough, that like didn't keep people around long enough, right? They just get deleted, and so then you're left with just, you're just only left with like the best AIs at doing their job, which then recommend you even more videos, and then based on how long you're spending time on the platform, the AIs learn what makes you even more, what gets you to stay, and so on and so forth. And in that kind of system, you wouldn't have any tricks, simply because if there was a trick, the trick in that kind of system would be to just make videos that are engaging. So videos that people spend a lot of time watching. And that will be the only trick. Because otherwise, if you found a different trick to like trick the algorithm into recommending videos that aren't actually making people stick around, then that kind of AI just wouldn't perform well and it would get changed really quickly. That's an educated guess about how it works. I don't think there's any information about how the YouTube algorithm works, but considering how big AIs considering how big AIs are, considering how much resources Google has, and considering how lucrative that would be my educated guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Thank you, Jaza. Thank you. Yeah, you see, made it. I'm always right, so that makes sense. You would agree with me.
Well, I mean, I am you, so, but from the future, so.
But that doesn't. I'm an Ouroboros of the time.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just you on a different part of the circle.
What am I doing? What am I doing? Every now and then I just black out for a second. I don't know if it's the alcohol, the drugs, or... Right, a linear algebra. Okay, that makes sense.
Episode 2. Wait, when was episode 1 of linear algebra?
Yesterday, you it was...
There.
Yeah, you were.
I thought it was called like going through MIT papers or something.
Yeah, guess what the MIT papers were about? It was linear algebra, just that then we switched to LibreTech, so I don't think MIT papers was accurate.
Oh. Oh yeah, you can switch the titles. I forgot that you can do that.
X and alpha is that kind of number. Then we have the function, which take in that number and then give you a different number. That's how functions work. Now, the reason why those logical statements is to make sure that we're talking about the right kind of function. Function of f of x is equal to y, equal to x, works. That's because you can take it add it together, right? Can you? 5 plus 6? Yeah, okay. I'm an idiot. I don't want to double check, just in case. I'm out of my vitamin mix. Damn it. No, of coffee though. That's good. What sour? It would stop working over time, but work for a bit. Bias the inputs to the network though. Yeah, but Stamp, you need to consider how much data you would need to do that kind of thing. The thing is, as I mentioned, it is not beneficial for YouTube to find for people to find exploits, because their model depends on, you know, keep as many people as engaged as you can for as long of time as possible. If you find some kind of exploit that allows you to get a lot of views without doing that kind of thing, then, you know, YouTube loses money, because all of a sudden less people are watching and less ad revenue. That's why you're playing at the house that always wins. You're trying to find an exploit on a platform that is constantly changing for people to not find exploits. And I just don't think that the spiffing Brit accounts for the fact that he's just doing clickbait in his videos enough. Because for videos of that clickbait, they're really not performing all that amazingly. I mean, as I mentioned, the Illegal Eagles Honey video got 7 million views in what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Like, that's how these videos should perform.
It's about a big topic.
Yeah, but that's my point. If you're a large creator who's clickbaiting your videos, then that is how many views you should get, simply because you're doing clickbait as a large creator. Hebrew-ish. That makes it even worse. you're a Brit. British people do not get, like, you're talking to a Slavic person, all right? Trust me.
My God, your accent is better than a British person's.
Well, okay, but that's only because British are awful. But I mean, imagine if, I don't know, an Indian person tried doing that. Like, that must suck. As an Indian person, it would be awful. Consider how many people would click off your video just because of your accent. It sucks. British people have it easy. finally made sense to you. I mean, it kind of makes sense, Lemon, but I don't know. It makes, I mean, okay, it makes sense that flat is the reverse of sharp and sharp is the reverse of flat. That makes sense. But like, I just need to get through linear algebra to like get there. Works. Function all the functions, multiply the function by a scalar that is equivalent to you multiply the x by a scalar is equal to multiplying the function of x by a scalar. All checks out. What's next? Well, multiple function like f of x is equal to 3x plus 7x. That'll be solid. Make it, I just started doing organic chemistry. What the heck are those names? 2,2-ethyl. Oh, jeez. Ethylic clohexatufreno. Yeah, it's rough, isn't it?
Chemistry. Isn't that just biochemistry?
Organic chemistry? It's kind of like biochemistry, except not quite. It's on a. You have a spectrum of like from chemistry to medicine. And organic chemistry is like kind of in between biochemistry and chemistry.
Alright.
It's surprisingly far away, actually. What's funny is that in biochemistry, you really often don't care about molecules. You're just dealing with molecules that are so massive, you don't think about them like molecules. You just care about proteins. Which is wild. Stay positive, make it always support you. I'll always stay positive. I'll always stay positive. The problem is that a lot of y'all are negative. That's, in my opinion, the problem. Which, honestly, is why I think you're attracted to me. I had to go for the physics joke. Oh my god, I have memorized 30 different names for similar things. Well, I mean, there is a naming convention. The bigger pickle is that you would need to memorize the functional groups, for which the naming convention is a lot more convoluted. So yeah. That's a bit tricky. What about a function like f of x is equal to 3x plus 7x? Well, let's see. Apply the function by alpha. We get the same thing. It works. Yeah, because they always... Oh, okay. That makes sense. This way, so alpha x, alpha x. Okay. If plug in x plus y, was that in the... Okay. X plus y into our function, we get... Did I do it correctly? And then we have this x plus y on each one, and that two functions added together. Checks. Well, okay, now let's do one more. F of x is equal to x squared. For the sake of simplicity, do we need anything more than that? Naming conventions, the places you go to for naming things. Oh, I love a good naming convention. You meet so many amazing people there, you know. So passionate about naming. 30 different bond names. Are there 30 bond names in English? I don't think so. I mean, we have covalent, polar covalent, ionic, metallic, and I think that's it. Or am I missing something? I don't think I am. Yeah. Make it just tell you I'm grateful for you. Well, I'm just glad to be here then. Yeah, I know what to say. Welcome. I don't. Aren't hydrogen bonds a thing? Isn't a hydrogen bond just a covalent bond that's specific to a hydrogen? I guess valent bonds would be a more appropriate name because electrostatic force between a hydrogen atom which is covalently bonded to a more... Oh yeah, that's just covalent bond. But I guess you could have a valent bond, so a bond with a single electron. That's because if you have H and H plus, then this will result in 2H minus, if I'm not mistaken. Which is when you have two hydrogens like this sharing an electron. It's in quantum mechanics is always used as an example. What's your story, Mickey? Why you started YouTube? That's a long story, and I don't have nearly enough alcohol to tell it. Hydrogen bond is made up by the government to sell you water. Exactly. The thing is, actually, there are 3 kinds of bonds. You could even classify them as 2 if you want. Okay, so bonds. All right, let's do a quick lesson on bonds. When it comes to bonds, there are basically ways, or actually no, let's do even more general. Interactions, everyone. Interactions. For interactions, we have 2 kinds. We have intramolecular and intermolecular. So you have interactions that are inside of a molecule, right? So you have water. That's backwards. Whoops. So we have water. So we have interactions that are happening inside of the molecule. And then you have interactions that happen outside of the molecule. So how water deals with other molecules. Like this. Lovely. You have this one, you have this one, this one, this one, this one. Now, when it comes to the ones between molecules, those are basically states of matter. You have your fluid, you have your solid or liquid, whatever. You have a liquid, you have a solid, you have a plasma, you have your gas, you have your liquid time crystals, whatever. All of them things. Then, for inside of a molecule, you have bonding. And bonding divides into 2 different kinds. Basically, you can have bonding when 2 electrons come together and they form both 2 electrons come together with their own quantum numbers and they both form a bonding orbital. That's one kind of bonding. Let's call it quantum bonding because depending on quantum numbers. And then the other kind of bonding is when positive things come together with negative things and they just kind of stick together. Now, this one is almost exclusively ionic, and this one is covalent, metallic, polar covalent, and all the weird ones. Your intelligence inspires me. I don't think I'm that intelligent, unless you're better than my teacher by a long shot. Well, it is my... Well, I mean, have been... It is my job to explain things, like, differently from teachers. But yeah. And so basically right here you have a plus and a minus coming together to a plus and a minus coming together to create a 0. And that keeps them together. And right here you have a high energy orbital and the high energy orbital coming together to create an orbital that's lower in energy. Imagine this bar just being lower than these two bars. And so this is kind of like a magnet that's holding something together. And this is kind of like a spring. And so it takes energy to pull it apart. Damn, that's a good analogy, actually. That's a really good analogy. And this is your covalent inside water. This is your ionic inside salts. You know, my teacher explained the gases equations incorrectly and now I failed the entire exam. That's... oh no. Well, that sucks. That does suck. How does that even happen? Career I want because of them. Wait, what? What kind of exam was it? Whoa, what kind of exam was it? Now why my fridge shake? Is your refrigerator running? No, but it is scared of me, as it should be. I am known to be quite chaotic at times. Second. Just a normal example. I need a high score to get a good grade for my entry mark in aerospace engineering. Specific minimum grade to enter the degree you want. Can't you make up the grade? Isn't there like other exams or something? No, I'm glad I can make your day better, Jaser. I really am. Hold on. Is live chat on? Yes, yes it is on. I know what it is, but this time it is here to ask. Uh-oh, hold on. Uh-oh, I've done an oopsie. There we go. Hope you don't mind me being too positive. Absolutely, I would never. I think we deserve a bit of positivity these days. You know, everyone being so negative. It's about time that someone gets positive. You're doing good work. I appreciate it, Jason. It is important. Nope, that's the wrong script. entropy of kinetic energy of particles. Kinetic energy of particles will be different from kinetic energy of particles precisely because the entropy is that way. Okay, so this render animation, there we go. By the way, you know that you got me the highest grade in class of the Euler equation video, right? I I do have to say, it does feel weird to like have someone's teacher fail them the exam and then me help. No, I can die in peace. Oh, please don't die! Don't die in peace. Live in war. I don't know. One could call it a positron. I related to Dmitry Malenkov. MD, what's up with you and just bringing random people and asking me if I'm related to them? Just because I knew them, okay, doesn't mean I have to be related. Now I'm sad because he told me to die in the war. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it, no. It was a joke, it was a goof. It was a joke, it was a goof, it was as a bit. Meant to be just a counter to living in peace. Confusing semantics trick question. What's 1/2 divided by a half? That's a 1, isn't it? Make it. It's your grandpa Albert Einstein. No, that's my cool uncle. Oh, Uncle Einstein. Jeez, what a fella. What a fella. In your opinion, is intelligence hereditary or acquired? I have no idea what intelligence even is, if I'm completely honest. I don't think for general intelligence we have a single proper definition that would be good enough in order for us to make actual guesses about the properties of intelligence. That's kind of like us wondering, that's kind of like us asking specific questions about consciousness whilst not knowing what causes it or what it even is. Make it invented, Einstein. Be careful what you say, make it. You have no idea how I already am. Doesn't say Einstein also, what do you... Mark, get it together. Just Einstein. Okay, pressure volume goes over there, and then... Let's do one more. So, if we... in alpha x into our equation, which is another thing, right? We bring it up like this, inside and outside the equation, we get... Oh. This is not a linear to our definition, and so that's how definitions in this chapter will work. You have some kind of logic statement defining an object, and if that logic statement holds, then talking about this specific object. Great. Next we have algebra, algebraity. Fundamental theorem. I think, should I first go for algebra? That's very general. The transfer on my walk home from the bus stop. That gives me life energy every day. That is nice. You have room temperature IQ. That's a lot in Kelvin. My goodness. That's what, 300? Or am I wrong? That's insanely lot. Good for you. Frederick, make it. Can you mention me in the script, please? I can try. This is a big... How am I supposed to do that kind of thing? How am I supposed to walk you in there? I've only done 2 pages. Actually, I'm on the 2nd page now. A massive gender rule flag in my backpack, so I don't have room anywhere to probably hang it up and fold it. Those are real problems. If I could get a flag to... I don't think... If I could get a flag to actually hang in there, I don't think it would be an LGBT flag, or I don't think it would be a European flag. Simply because I would rather confuse people. I think what I would do is I would get like a plausibly looking flag, like, you know, general flag colors, like the blue that you would see in the flag, the white, the red, you know, plausibly looking flag colors, and arrange them in a way that would look like a real country flag, but wouldn't be. So that everyone would just be extremely confused. They wouldn't be able to guess which country it's from. And then the more they would look it up, the more they would realize that that country doesn't actually exist. And that way I would just waste time of a lot of people. And so, yeah. I love to wear as a cable sorter to a private round of that walk. Doesn't matter if it's walk, do it anyway. Who's gonna stop you? Don't let the haters stop you. If I can tell people in the next video to stay positive and appreciate what they have. I already tried to work that in as many videos as I can, Jazer. A while back ago I used to do a lot of hopeful videos, like about the satisfaction and, you know, anti-suicide and so on and so forth. I should get back to making them, to be fair. Damn it, I burned the toast earlier on. Give me a second. I burned the toast earlier on and... I just had to open up the window a bit because I burned the toast earlier on and I can just feel that I'm not getting enough oxygen. Just a lot of smoke in my office. Yes, it was definitely a toast and nothing else. Don't think about it much. Physical walk because I have no clue how to keep it on me without risking puncturing my clothes. Lemon, sacrifices must be made. What you think? Just being gay is easy, huh? Sacrifices must be made, you know. I still appreciate your work. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. Algebra. Alright, let's... Because I'm pretty certain right here in this textbook, it's starting right away with the fundamental theorem of algebra. Right. Right, if I prove a fundamental theorem of algebra using concept, you should be familiar from a study of calculus. Great. Positive integer, n is equal to plus, and any choice of complex numbers with a n not equal to 0, that makes sense because then it would be 0, has at least one solution ZC. Is there a proof? Fundamental theorem of algebra in calculus, we need extreme value theorem. Okay, great. So I guess fundamental theorem right away, huh? Sacrifice your clothes to the gay agenda. Hold on. Hold on. The gay agenda, you know what? Fuck the gay agenda, that's what I'm saying, because... Where is it?
Yeah, why don't we fuck it?
Hold on, you... Hold on, I'm looking for something. There we go! Fuck the gay agenda. Hold on, you can't see the joke, there we go. Fuck the gay agenda.
I've
All
seen
right.
this image.
Haven't we all? It's just yeah, crazy. Just you know.
Very peculiar.
It's by Scaroy, who's just a great artist. Doesn't matter. The point is. Hi, Greg. Hi, welcome. Imagine wearing one of the shirts without long that context, the other shirt. Lemon, oh, imagine that, huh? Hold on. That's literally what the comic is about. Hold on, let me find the full comic.
A full comic sent to me.
I'm looking for it. Give me a second.
It was a pretty good comic.
I can't find this Scary comic. Oh boy, that's not safe for work. Okay, well, woof. So that's just porn. Okay, good to know. Great. Well, I don't think I'll find you the comic, but the full joke of the comic is that.
Like the server.
Hold on, that was. And kids, and that's why I always look up stuff on the other screen in case anyone is curious. That's why I do it. So yeah.
I thought that was common sense.
Yeah, that's because sometimes just porn flashes on the screen. Now, but the comic was about like him moving away, and it was just like fuck the agenda without his friend. And everyone was giving him the weird looks, and that was the full comic. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Are you anti-LGBTQA? Make it. Oh, you know, my audience is just so against it, so I'm just against it. You know what they say. Apple does not fall far from it, you know, and just oof. I am just so against it. All them weird freaking sex havers.
All them weird fruity people.
Exactly.
I
only care about fruity equations, not fruity.
Wait, what was fruity? What type of people did fruity even describe? I forgot.
Like fruity originally was a slur, but then was adopted by the. I'm pretty certain just gay. I think a certain kind of gay, but just gay.
Okay.
The fruits have arrived. For example, lemon is fruity. I couldn't help myself.
Oh, and the lime too.
Is there? Oh, lime is there as well. The fruity gang.
Oh, and orange.
Yeah, lemon, orange, lime. The entire fruity gang is here.
Alter these.
What do you mean olds? This is just Lemon's family.
Yeah. But like, who's their father?
Lemon, I didn't know your cousins were coming from out of town. No. Lemon is actually a child of a bitter orange and a citron. Yeah.
Oh, so like, where's Citron in chat? Did they get it? Did they just leave the?
No, they
family?
didn't get invited apparently. Orange would be an uncle, I guess, in that case, wouldn't it? So just found out that apparently lemon isn't naturally occurring and is instead a hybrid by crossbreeding a bitter orange and a citron fruit, which means life never gave us lemons, we invented them all by ourselves. I mean, I do have to say, this is such a hope, I love the Emperor of Mankind one. This is like my favorite Warhammer for the Caribbean, or at least top 10.
Yeah.
Why hide your face behind the mask? I'm sure you're handsome. Well, it's because when you're watching my videos, I would rather you learn something than fall in love. That's the main reason.
Like, hear me out. What if a person was, hypothetically, hear me out. What if they were only attracted to women? I know it sounds impossible, but
I don't think that exists.
like, what if like one person out there in the world exists like that? Then it would be fine for them.
I genuinely don't think... I call it the femboy thesis, okay? That's what I call it. It's a theory of mine that every single person on the planet is pansexual simply because... No, kind of, but hear me out. Okay, so the femboy thesis... Alright. Everyone, we're doing a femboy thesis again. Here's my theory, alright? Hear me out. Hear me out. Here's my theory. Imagine like an n-dimensional space, okay? We have some abstract n-dimensional space. We don't know how many dimensions, n-dimensional. Now, my theory states that if you have this n-dimensional space that would describe a person, then in that space you would have one point describing a woman and another person describing a man. Then around those points, like this would be like perfect woman, perfect man. The most manly man, the most woman-ish woman, right? That kind of thing. Then, around those points, you would have a sphere of what we in society would consider women as, or like a region of influence of what we consider men, what we consider women, right? Now, if you are gay or straight or any of those, then what that basically means is that your attraction, doesn't matter if it's sexual, romantic, platonic, doesn't matter, your attraction has to perfectly follow these lines. Perfectly. Why? Well, it's because if it goes ever so slightly off, like this, ever so slightly, then congrats. Right now you are not really, you are attracted to more than sex, which means you are no longer straight or gay or anything. You are pan. And so my theory is that this is so unbelievably unlikely for this to follow exactly in that region that statistically every single person should be pan. What's more, it's possible also that these regions go like this and then they like overlap in certain places. I would say it's
like,
more even likely.
You know the whole break the binary thing, so...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? And so in that n-dimensional space, to have a region, because that's basically defined by a range. So basically what you're trying to tell me is that we have this complex social web of interactions that defines what a woman and what a man is, right? And you mean to tell me that someone's attraction would follow exactly to the letter that line, and that's not like due to social pressure, only just pure coincidence? I don't buy it. That's simple. I don't buy it. I think it looks more like this. Okay, I think it's more like this. There we go. Simple. Therefore, femboys are manifolds. Exactly. I'm returning the.
I guess that makes sense.
Exactly, and so basically,
Assume human is a cylinder, and yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah, so basically, you have some value s that is inside of the sex set, all right, and then if you have a sigma function that takes in the s, then for it you get that kind of attractions. For example, for romantic attraction, right, you get some kind of value which would be an x, where x is in real numbers because that's just simply value. What's more, it's real positive numbers. And then basically what we're trying to say is that we have another region. Let's call it w. So we have the w function for a woman, and basically w is w of s is equal to a 0. It's equal to a 1 if that s, I don't remember how if is done in mathematics, if s is within a certain set w, defining the set of numbers, for a woman, and if it's 0 if it's not. If it's not in W. Let's do it like this. This looks way more proper maths than whatever I drew here. Oh, there we go.
All right.
There we go. And so that's how you get the definition of what we consider women. And basically what I'm trying to say is that if you're a man, right? If you're a man or if you're a woman, if you're a man, then in order for you to claim yourself as straight, and if you're a woman, in order for you to claim yourself as lesbian, what you basically have to say is that sigma r s is greater than 0 if ws is equal to 1. And that's like so unlikely. That is so unlikely for any arbitrary function. So I mean, what the heck are we talking about? You mean to tell me, and so you mean to tell me in that n-dimensional space that those just happen to be the same? No! Ridiculous.
How about instead of an n-dimensional space, we're on an earth-dimensional space?
I'll have to make science return and make it going off with his pansexual theory. They're called the femboy thesis, alright, Ninja? Get it together, it's serious, okay?
Who made this? Like Professor Lando?
There's some drunk people yelling outside my apartment. Oh, I just really want to get into a fight. I've been going outside at night for weeks now, just looking to get into a fight, and no one starts any. It's ridiculous.
Well, move to America. Move any big city in America.
No, but I mean, in America, they're gonna shoot me. They're not gonna start a fight. I'm just gonna die.
Yeah, they'd start a gunfight. Start a gang war.
What's the fun there? I'm just gonna die.
You won't die if you're just playing smart.
Common lemon W.
Common lemon W. Both the other cities.
All I'm saying is that my femboy thesis holds some water, and that's all I'm saying. Because what's more is that I do believe that there exists a point. Okay, there exists a point. Let's call it F for femboy. There exists a point which is inside the women set and inside the man set, inside both of them. I do believe exists that point. And what's particularly interesting there is that if that point exists, then it would be impossible to be straight or gay. It would be impossible. Simply because you need to draw the pair, you need to, unless of course the sigma would be smaller than the set. Oh, I didn't think of that. Never mind then. Maybe it would be possible. Oh, that's tricky.
What if it doesn't actually exist? It's just like some random biology numbers.
I mean, it is. We're just trying to, this is still not gonna stop me from making a femboy thesis, right? So when are you going to start gender studies such as sexuality? What do you mean sociology? No, I'm doing mathematics of sexuality. I'm doing sex thematics, sex physics, sex mystery. Damn, none of these work.
Except the numbers and letters on the screen all rambled together into something that has to do with sex somehow.
If you eat enough red meat, Red Bull, and red food dye, you become immune to gun wounds. Make it made me bi. Glad I could help. Make it. Do you go outside the mask? Depends. What kind of mask are we talking about?
If everyone is bi, then why do we use binary for everything in computer science?
Well, no, actually that's the reason why we use binary. Yeah, I mean, okay, here's the thing. Actually, I don't know if you've noticed, but quantum computers are more powerful than computers, right?
This keeps happening. Why does technology keep advancing about past whatever I think is true?
No, hear me out. Quantum computers are more powerful precisely because they're not binary. And therefore, QED, if we stop being binary in our society, will just be more powerful.
I mean, yeah. There's a reason that first world countries also happen to be the strongest.
Yeah, just, zero is we're kind of positive. Bye, Jason, bye. Have a good one. Good night. The theory of sexual relativity. Where mouths get sexual. Big sexuality is watching.
I can't wait until Positron realizes he missed this.
Heterosexuality is a lie made up by a government to sell baby food. It really is. Heterosexuality is a lie made up by the government to have more government.
No, babies are a lie made up by the government to sell more.
All men are slightly gay because all attraction sets include make it. Lemon. Oh, Lemon, why'd you have to go there? Come on. Come on, girl. Just ridiculous. There's theoretical peak male performance. Well, hear me out, because I did specify a point there. However, it would be all relative. So this is all assuming that there is an objective set in mathematics. However, consider a counter. Consider that every single person has this sort of sigma of romantic, sexual, and so on and so forth, and at the same time, they have their own function, which would be phi and fudge me, I don't mu and phi. Is this mu? I don't remember how to do mu. Mu function.
Greek letters keep turning into brain rot terms.
I don't think that's where mu comes from, to be honest, because it's spelled differently. It's mu in Greek letters. I don't think that's where it comes from. Made it. Yeah, but mu and phi. Oh, how do you do phi? Phi was like a fancy something.
Isn't that phi?
No, is it phi? Or was it? That wasn't. No, that's theater. Phi. Damn, it was phi. I just completely forgot. I was so close. Damn it. Okay, and this. There we go.
Yeah, it is phi.
There we go. So every single person has their own function defining what they consider a woman, what they consider a man. Alright?
Yeah.
What's more, hear me out, might be controversial, but what if we solve dysphoria this way? So another part of the femboy thesis is that people don't actually want to be a woman, people don't actually want to be a man, what they actually want is some different point that really often is approximated by one of these terms. So in that case, so for example, I don't want to be masculine, I don't want to be feminine. I want to transcend this mortal form to escape this casket of flesh that will soon wither away. You see?
Wouldn't that be outside the box?
I don't know, maybe. Actually, I'm assuming on some spectrum, like, no, I don't know, spectrum of godly, like godlyhood or something.
Mayhaps.
And in that case, actually, if we abolish that, we may realize that for some people, they may actually want to go this way. They may, like, they may not want to go this, I guess there wouldn't be a precursor. They wouldn't want to go this way. It would be actually better for them to go this way. And they would feel better if they went this way. So actually, we should just, instead of transitioning into a specific bucket, we should abolish all the labels and just get people to look whatever way they want to look like and do whatever they want to do. Femboy thesis.
Exactly. Abolish the binary.
Yeah. Not only abolish the binary, abolish the discrete. I don't want binary genders, I want continuous genders.
No, I want all real numbers as gender.
Exactly. What's more is n-dimensional space or even more. Sexuality was invented by sex companies to sell more gender. Gender abolitionism is when you harass trans people. Okay, so I'm glad that you added the /j there, because it's important. Because that was a pretty rough claim.
Oh, I'm on top chat. That's why that live chat's not making sense.
Yeah. Me and my gender wave function crap. So we didn't even get to the fucking sex wave function. How actually you don't know the phi, you don't know the m, you don't know the sigma, you don't know any of these. And in fact, you need to do constant measurements to figure out how to approximate them.
Asians having sex.
I gotta make a video about this. Honestly, this is
Yes,
phenomenal.
you should. I would actually watch that video.
I actually might do just a video about the sex theory of mathematics.
Yeah. Okay, so we have linear math. So what about gay math?
Yeah, we have straight. That's the thing, you see. That's the overcoming limitation. In Euclidean space, two straight lines can never meet, but two gay lines can, because it's more powerful.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Give this man a Nobel Prize.
So we have linear algebra. So what would gay algebra be? Hear me out. Is it just Roblox doing algebra?
Depending on the time of day, the French go either way. The gay or European, my favorite line, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's a contributor that I could hop on and draw them out to show you. Yeah, Ninja, if only you were.
But like, what if you just donate money? Hear me out.
Give me money.
Donate to his Patreon.
Give me money. Oh, because you don't have money, then steal it from someone. Am I telling you to break the law to donate to me on Patreon? Maybe. I don't know. I can't say yes because that would be irresponsible of me. However, theoretically, I'm saying it could work. Am I advocating for you to break the law for my own personal benefit? Who am I to say? All I'm saying is that it could work and it would be beneficial. Anyway, I just came back to tell you that I love you, bro. I'm really off. Bye, Jays. I love you too. Love you too. I'm glad you joined on the streams. You're making them brighter. I like that.
Yeah. But who needs brighter streams when you can have darker streams?
No, I mean, I already have Google Docs and LibreText both open. There's a white page with text, so I mean,
Exactly.
we're already pretty
Get
rough.
some dark mode on this.
Okay. Define algebra. Actually, or just algebra. What is algebra?
Algebra is like when you use like the funny letters or the Greek funny letters.
I mean, it
the
is.
regular funny letters.
It really is.
Yeah, this is what my school taught me, so it must be correct.
None to set.
Wait, algebraic structure.
This is actually pretty so far. Hold on, I need to go to the bathroom. Give me a second.
Oh wait, does this mean is this my stream right now? Can hear me out? Fuck. No, I did not nearly kill myself. Okay, Rob, let's get in here. We need someone to entertain the stream, please. Roblox, we need you. And enter voice chat. Hop on whiteboard. Wait for this lad to get back. Oh, I wasn't. What's my voice? Hello there.
Okay, Reblox.
What's up, gamers? Reblex here.
Oh my goodness, I didn't notice you because I was gone. I wasn't here and I couldn't actually see you. Reblox, I was just talking about my theory of mathematical sex. How you doing?
Next question. No, I mean, I heard you on stream asking what algebra was, so of course I joined.
Well, I mean, I think I get what algebra is. I just need to like give a formal
My
definition for
summoning
it.
circle finally worked after forever. I didn't consent to be summoned.
No blue nickname ever does. No blue nickname ever does, Reblox. It just happens. I'm sorry. When you accept
Is
a
the
blue...
physics hating math guy? I'm not physics hating. I just hate physics. That's not
No!
the same thing.
I was about to say, no,
Can we
you
get some
totally don't.
biology haters in chat? Like,
We don't have enough biology, like,
I don't-
acknowledgers to even get to hating, honestly.
I don't think biology has haters. Honestly, I
No, it
just
does.
think that either you like it or either it scares you because
fucking
people who
hate
want to
biology.
study
is
like
the one subset of science that does not make sense.
No, actually, there is like you can hate biology. It's just that we don't even have biology acknowledged enough for us to even get to the hate part. You know.
I mean, yeah, that
Oh,
too.
Yeah, fair play.
The thing is, it's always people who hate other fields. It's always either on the extremes or it's really close by. So mathematicians hating physics, physicists hating mathematics and chemistry, chemists hating physics and more abstract chemistry, and then like organic chemistry people, for example, hating theoretical chemistry and biochemistry. And then so in order for us to hate on biology, we need either some biochemists to hate on biology or some medicine people to hate on biology. So yeah, that's why
That
we
makes
don't
sense.
we don't have
Wait,
anyone.
medicine people.
Yeah,
Surely we have some of those.
I mean we do.
We have pharma.
His farm main is organic chemistry. He can trash on biochemists. I don't think pharma is
Maybe.
dealing with proteins. Maybe he is. I don't know.
I
Yeah.
mean, organic chemistry has organic in it.
Yeah, but that's just
Or hear me out.
as if I
I'm
was.
just a young student who hasn't even picked something yet, and I already hate biology.
Yeah, but to be fair, you know, that's kind of too easy because if you haven't picked anything, that means you're just learning the general ones, and I mean that can make you hate everything.
Yes, but you see, I have physics, chemistry, and astronomy, and biology is the only one that I hate. So
By the way, I would just like to mention that is the case. You've just mentioned Farmer Main is here now. I don't know what to tell you. Curse of the blue nickname. I'm sorry. You all accepted the blue nicknames. That happens. When someone calls your name twice and then spins around.
I don't know if it applies to me because I always send a message every time I join, but maybe like a lot of blue nicknames just lurk in the corner and say something when they're
Yeah, but
mentioned.
you think you always just send a message when you join, but I mean you've joined right now, right as we needed you, right as Lemon sound you.
I mean, what did Lemon send actually?
oh, Lemon's still in chat.
It's algebra, which sure as hell isn't linear or straight. Oh yeah, gay algebra, obviously. Sexuality was invented as sex complete some or gender. Yeah.
Can I
Wait,
Google?
actually, Reblax, I have a question. Since you're here, might as well. Actually, when it comes to the equation I've provided, I know you've answered, but I don't understand.
Which equation? Oh yeah.
How does it generalize to complex numbers?
Okay, well actually,
So how do you define linearity in complex numbers? I suppose that would be the actual question I'm looking for.
Basically, actually, your equation, I think like there's a little something weird with it. Well, because it's like, okay, again, a linear map is just a special case of a function.
I just think of it as a function because I don't know what special case that is even.
I mean, like, a function is just a way of pairing up things, really.
Linear map. Okay, linear, that makes sense. But yeah, that was the definition of a linear one from one of the Texas PDFs. I don't remember which one.
So for this, you need two vector spaces. So I'm really tempted to call vector spaces E and F because in French we say espace, so we use E. But I guess I'm gonna do it the English way and call them V, and the next letter after V, which is W. And we have a map from V to W. The W is clearly a double V, by the way. The English people are all wrong. In French, we say
that
it's
makes so
double V.
much sense. Oh my goodness, double V.
In French, we say it's a double V.
I've never thought about it this way. This makes so much more sense.
The W would be like something like this.
Why the fuck is it called a W? That's it, yeah.
W is some mouth for ew emoji.
That is W.
Anyways, so
you can't just blow my mind and just skip. Anyways, let's go some math. But whatever, go for it.
Anyways, It used to be called double V. Well, you need in Latin. I'm not going to suggest that we should go back to Latin, but I mean, they clearly had figured some things out. All right, so what do I mean when I say that F goes from V to double V? So V and double V are just vector spaces,
Right.
right? Vector spaces, and for now I'm going to take them to be, because I mean, usually we just say vector space, but that's kind of incomplete. So that's something that that's probably jarring when you're trying to learn math at a quick pace. So for instance, when you're making videos and explaining about it, when you learn math like gradually, when you're trying to just go through the academic system, usually everything is introduced at a quite slow speed, so it doesn't bother you. But here, I'm technically not saying everything. When you have a vector space, you need to specify whether it's over the real numbers or the complex numbers or something else entirely. You need to specify a base field. So let's say it's over R to start, right?
Yeah.
So it's a vector space. So it
Real
we call
numbers,
that
just
an
do.
R vector space. Usually we say over R.
Okay, makes
R.
sense. So, okay.
I hope you saw my cursed way of defining the cross products. Okay, not gonna lie, the things with the like doing stuff, rewriting basic stuff with the musical isomorphisms and just differential geometry notation is one of the best jokes ever. I mean, it's like saying it's like saying a monad is a monoid in the category of end effectors. Not really, because like the single one is an acceptable definition if you have a PhD or something. I'm exaggerating here, but okay. So we have two conditions that we want to be true to say that f is linear. Well, basically, like, you always have to remember that there are two things that we want to do with vectors. It's add them together and scale them.
Yeah.
Right. So the two things that we ask for is that f of x plus y is always f of x plus f of y. So x and y are vectors, right? X, y, z, these are always going to be vectors. Scalars, I'm going to be writing them with Greek letters to differentiate between them. And so what do we want? And so this holds for any two vectors, x and y.
Right.
Right. And for scalars, what we want is that if lambda is a scalar, so lambda is going to be in R, we're going to want this to be true.
So far I'm with you because I've just been, that was like the first hour of the stream.
All right.
So far I'm with you.
If you want to generalize this to complex numbers, well, you're going to ask for vector spaces not over R, but over C.
Yeah.
And you're going to ask that it works for scalars, well, not only in R, but in C. You want to preserve the whole vector space structure.
Yeah, and here's where what confused me, because I mean, it doesn't feel like it's going to hold. I haven't done any maths on it because I kind of got distracted with this sex function thing, but yeah.
That's truly one of the sentences ever uttered on Make It stream. Emma99, I'm coming into these streams. Are they all educational like this? Well, it depends. There's a lot of streams where
Recently,
Make It is just making videos. A lot of streams where someone like me or Flame or Remco comes on stream and explains stuff. There are streams where Make It takes 2 hours off and plays video games.
Basically,
they're stream or Make It just like does a sex equation.
Emma,
also,
yeah, also, I mean, that's kind of every stream. But Emma9, they are always educational. It's just that I am more here to answer questions than explain things, simply because I'm not educated enough in anything to actually explain stuff. So when Reblax or Remco, or, well, Remco actually hasn't never joined on stream, but if Reblax or Flame like joining on stream, then those are more explaining streams. For example, right now Reblax basically explaining basics of linear algebra to me because I'm clearly a professional. However, if it's just me, then I'm just here to more answer questions. So it's always educational. It's just that I'm not capable of actually explaining topics in depth. But for questions, I'm always up to answering. I like that. I'm good at this. I like being good at stuff.
I mean, sometimes the streams are educational but for math, and sometimes they're educational but for Terraria.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
depends.
And game theory in Terraria is important, you know.
I think like when I think when I learned calculus, I was like, hold on, I can use this to optimize chlorophyll farming.
With
Actually, you
calculus.
the thing I did, you absolutely do not need calculus. You just need to realize that a square is a square and it's efficient.
I was sort of wondering, calculus seems like a wild thing to use for chlorophyte farming. I would imagine.
I'm sure that if you engineer stuff enough, you can use calculus somewhere in Terraria. I just haven't found out where because I'm not an engineer.
Yeah, but I guess. Hold on, what would be a good example? You would want from something like with change. I mean, I feel like the Moonlord fight might have something there. Simply because if you model like Moonlord's health in relation to Moonlord healing and taking damage, maybe there's something there.
Yeah.
But to be fair, that's a very
Thas
simplistic view into calculus. I'm not.
Yeah.
It's a very basic view into what calculus is.
Thas suggested something with loot drops, and I mean, yeah, that's like the obvious case of people doing dungeon and saying, yeah, so this will take on average 10,000 hours. Right. So obviously, like that's something that you're. I mean, yeah, the linearity condition seems strong because it is. If you take a lot of functions from okay, you know that the real numbers are a vector space over the real numbers.
Did you say real numbers are the vector space around over the real numbers?
Yeah.
Makes sense. It makes too much sense. I
mean, it makes a lot of sense because if you have two real numbers, you can add them together, and well, scaling a real number by another real number is just multiplication.
Yeah.
The thing that you're kind of forgetting here is that like multiplication is a little bit stronger than just scaling. Like it's a whole different thing, but we don't care about that. It's a vector space over R. And so that means that you can look at functions from R to R and try to figure out which ones are linear. And the thing is that you're not going to find many of them. Almost all functions you know from calculus are absolutely not linear because the only functions that are linear are scalings.
Can I give my understanding as to why, and then you can tell me if I'm correct or not? Because yeah. I always thought of it like if you have a function, right, then basically only these are linear, and if you make up a random arbitrary function, then it's basically impossible to get an actual linear function. It's always going to be...
That's exactly the thing.
Okay.
Basically, that comes from the fact that R is a one-dimensional vector space over R. I mean, it's the real line. and I shouldn't say this because it's the complex plane, but the complex numbers are dimension 1 over the complex numbers. So
okay, so you know. I understand the need to define everything properly in maths. I really do. It's not me being sarcastic. I really do get it. But but every single time you say something like that, it reminds you of the meme. You know how Einstein felt after discovering that light travels at the speed of light. That's kind of that kind of thing.
Yeah, but basically, like, why I'm saying this is that because it makes linear maps over R very uninteresting. We need to find better examples to actually find interesting stuff. And basically, all right, I'm going to start with smooth functions. So I'm going to introduce a new scary symbol, which is a Methcal C. Not really Methcal C. It's
for a second, I thought it was. For a second, I thought it was Euler's to the power of infinity. I'll be honest.
No, it's a big C. No, it's Meth SCRC. So these are functions from R to R that are smooth, so infinitely differentiable. So this is calculus.
Okay.
So this is a vector space over R. Why? Because if f and g are smooth, well, f plus g is also smooth.
Okay, yeah.
Like, yeah, if two things are differentiable, you can add the two things, it's still differentiable. It's very
is it
basic.
because is it the with like, is it the more general version of saying the thing about I've seen about calculus, where like derivatives, in this case, satisfy this principle of linearity, where I never remember if it's
Yeah,
x or y at the
I'm
bottom.
going to get to that.
Okay.
I'm going to get to that actually. I can show one of my favorite applications of linear algebra to calculus. Actually, I just realized.
You're really excited. Okay.
I'm really excited. All right. I'm not going to spoil everything right away. Right. So, and if you've got a scalar lambda and a function f, well, lambda f, so which is defined by just you multiply everything by lambda, it's again smooth. I mean, like,
Yeah, I
scaling
mean,
preserves
obvious.
smoothness.
Obviously.
So because of this, smooth functions from R to R are actually a vector space over R. Over R, yeah, I can speak. Right.
Wait, just
Remco on stream. Remco.
no way.
Wait, Remco?
That's doesn't happen. See,
You didn't even mention your name.
no, that's
Well.
that's the blue nickname Cares, Reblox. That's the blue nickname Cares walk. Like earlier on when you said that usually you
No, I
Flame
mentioned
or
Remco.
yeah, you earlier on you said that you Remco or Flame join on stream, and I said that Remco doesn't join on streams, and now Remco is on stream. That's the blue nickname Cares. Hi there, Remco.
I'm feeling very talkative. Maybe that's why.
That's fair then. Oh no, Remco's here. I have to stop with my making up physics bullshit.
No, just make it up so bad that like it can't be even detected as physics.
I mean, whenever
I'm
anyone,
still doing
Really
math,
doing
actually.
mathematics.
I mean, whenever anyone asks me a physics question, I just confidently answer because I know that Remco isn't gonna join in. But now, like with math and chemistry, I have to watch myself. Flame, you, Reblox, you might be something to do, but no, with physics questions, I just confidently answer and don't check myself.
Be careful, I've been lurking. I've been keeping a check out on you. You do math. The algebra.
What is Reblox? Would you
Yeah.
just?
Yes.
That was competitive typing. We'll just.
Oh yeah, my microphone is pretty great, and I have a mechanical keyboard for
No, I
gaming.
meant the speed. I mean, same here. My microphone's also great. I also have a mechanical keyboard, not for gaming. Only it was the cheapest one in the store, believe it or not. But like that was competitive level of speed typing.
I mean, actually, I don't like type fast. I don't use my 10 fingers. Like, my mother tried to actually get me to use my 10 fingers, but I just don't like it. I use my two, middle fingers.
I'm sorry. How do you type? How quickly do your hands move?
No, actually, I
Like,
don't type fast
graphically.
because I type so fast I make a lot of typos, so I have to correct them after. I'll just lose time.
Oh my goodness! With
That's
that actually
why,
works.
like, if you look at my chat messages, that's why sometimes there's just dollar signs or equation or equal signs in them.
Oh, I
because,
thought that
like,
was
dollar
just
signs
because-
right next to the enter key.
Oh, I just
It's
thought
not
that
because
was
I like capitalism or anything.
no. I thought that was just because you're a
I use all
mathematician.
11 of my fingers. I wish I did.
Yeah, I thought it was a latex thing. Like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Like
just
the math mode.
But, yeah, I mean, I type all. I mean, what I do is basically type all day when I'm not doing math on the blackboard. So
you're just
I mean,
genetically
whiteboard.
wired to add in the extra dollar signs for LaTeX. You know.
Just typoing a math.
I mean, I may have genetic predisposition. I need to shut up.
That just said I use
I may have genetic predisposition. Why is
predisposition.
English hard?
It's fine.
Predispositions. I may have genetic predispositions to this because, like, my dad, all his life he did tech.
I
Not
don't.
even LaTeX, just tech.
I don't
Pure
think
tech,
that's
typeset,
how.
dictionaries.
With all the respect, I don't think that's how genetic works. But you know what? Good
Find the
for you.
biology person to prove me wrong. There's no biology people around here. I can just make shit up.
No, it's actually great because we all three of us have wildly different accents, so it could be wildly confusing for people, and I really like that.
And when we've got Flame who's British, me who's French, you
Yeah.
who's Polish,
Yeah.
Remco who's Deutsch. I think
That's-
we need to find a
That,
persistent
I don't think
biology
that's.
person.
Wait, I don't think that's Deutsch, is it?
Deutsch?
No, it's
Deutsch?
that's German.
Because Deutsch is German in German. I
Yes.
guess.
Wait, fuck. No, the language you speak is Deutsch.
Dutch.
No,
Dutch.
Dutch.
Remco,
I feel insulted.
Remco, you have to excuse him. He's French, okay? It's not his fault.
Yeah, no, it's
I'm
his
French. You can
personality,
expect me
it's
to
fine.
not be xenophobic.
You have to excuse him, okay? It's a serious disability, all right?
It's okay. I already expected like eternal disappointment from him. It's fine. I'm prepared.
Can disappoint people if they have no expectations for you, you know.
I mean,
It's one of the perks of being French.
by the way, can we appreciate for a second how out of all the experts we have on the Discord server, we don't have a single one who's American. Not a single American.
For a reason.
Yeah, I mean, British, we have French, we have a lot of people are from Netherlands. It's honestly shocking. Not that many German people, but I mean,
Technically, Pimmer should be an expert. And they're from America.
who?
Pimmers.
Pimis.
The old person. He did a bachelor in physics.
Oh, Pimis. Oh my goodness, Pimis.
And-
For a
and
second, I
he's
thought
now-
there was someone who had this scientist rank. Oh, I just didn't. I just forgot.
Oh no.
about
No.
it.
No.
Okay,
Wait,
but
technically, I think I have the equivalent of 2 years of a bachelor's in physics. Actually, I just realized. That scares me. I should.
If you just do some tail expansions, you're basically doing physics. So you are also a physics master.
after hating
hope
on
you
the
feel-
physics for such a long time.
Yeah, I hope you feel horrible because of that.
Yeah. What have you become? Ha! I don't have any masters, you fools.
I have started hating physics. I mean, it's not that I hate physics. Like, obviously, the pursuit of knowledge about reality is cool. Is that I hate doing physics because I was made to do it at some point.
I mean, that's
fair.
There's method to my madness. There are reasons behind my anger.
it's always funny how nicely it just clicks together because you basically hate physics just like Flame. Actually, I don't think Flame hates physics that much, but like chemists hate physics, but it's for a totally opposite kind of reason. Where for
Honestly,
you,
in my experience, it's not the chemists that hate the physicists; it's the physicists who absolutely hate on chemistry.
I thought you were about to say is the physicists that hate themselves.
Same.
I mean, yes, that's. But I think that's just like a baseline for when you do research. So you know.
If you're in science and physics and math, you're just depressed by default.
Requirement.
I mean, if you're not, it's not really a requirement. But even if you come in with hopes and expectations, you do 1 week of stuff, they're not there anymore. All right, so
Yeah.
maybe I mean, unless Remco has something more interesting to talk about, I'm going to continue on the linear algebra.
And I know you didn't mean it, but that was so passive aggressive.
I mean, honestly, if Remco wants to talk about like some cool physics stuff, it's probably going to be more follow-up, more like understandable for the people in chat than me doing formal math.
Depends.
And I plan on typesetting all the things in my talk at some time anyway.
I don't think so, simply because if I need help with linear algebra here, but if I was gonna with Remco, do the kind of stream that would be about general relativity probably, and talking about general relativity without visualizing it makes no one understand anything. You need the thing is that's what's so annoying whenever I try to like get more in depth of anything general relativity related for a video. I always read from textbooks, and it's always so it feels like doing abstract maths with like, oh, you have a determinant. What is a determinant? Well, for each matrix you have a value, and you get that value from a determinant. What is that value? Well, that's the value you get from a determinant. It's that simple. What do you mean circular definition? No, it's just determinants.
No, but theoretical physics is just math, except you need like some extra rules for it needs to be observable. It's literally that. Quantum mechanics is just linear algebras. However, our observables need to be Hermitian, which means real valued eigenvalues, because otherwise you can't measure them. So it's just a limited kind of mathematics,
Okay, what?
and
Hold on.
and it's cooler.
Wait, however, if you have a model which gets a complex valued one, is it not
Hold on.
even considered theoretical?
Is it a module? Oh, a model.
Yeah, a model.
Okay.
So
I
if you
thought like just explain module theory.
no, no, no.
Module. No.
Yeah.
No, no,
Okay.
No. What's a vector? An
People-
element?
I mean, that's the true definition.
Okay,
What's the vector space?
Reblax, you're joking, but I genuinely have said on so many streams that I hate vector spaces precisely for that reason. Like, how do you explain the vector space? How do you explain the vector space?
I mean, honestly, like, okay, saying a vector space is a space of vectors is bad, but I low-key agree with saying a vector is an element of vector space.
No, but I mean, like, how do you explain the vector space? Because I've tried it and I failed every single time.
Well,
Because
I mean,
the
the way
thing is-
I would explain, the way I'm going
Go
to
on.
actually, because I said I would do it.
Go on, floor is yours. I'm curious.
The way I mean, like, the way I chose to structure my linear algebra thing is I've decided to do everything very algebraically. There are a lot of perspectives you can have on linear algebra. The thing I've come to understand from the internet is that, for instance, in America, well, in the US at least, they tend to have a first linear algebra course that is very calculation focused. So it's a course that could be taken by an engineering major or someone who does finance, or basically people who don't need to know the abstract math but need to still be able to actually do stuff with matrices and other related things. And then the math majors take a second course in linear algebra where they actually do stuff the abstract way and so on, and learn the formal math so they can actually do math or physics,
Right.
theoretical physics at least. No, actually, linear algebra is something most. I'm sure even the experimentalists know what's up.
And electrical engineering apparently even uses algebra.
Yeah,
So,
I
like-
believe it. But like for people who really don't do that much math but still need to know how to matrix with a matrix, I guess the first course is enough. And in France, we absolutely do not do this. In France, in the first year of, well, actually, I don't really know because, well, if you're in a math degree, the first course you're going to have on linear algebra is the formal stuff right away. And I know that some people who are going to end up engineers, or at least that don't plan on doing math research, go in basically the same thing that I did and that Elliot is currently doing. She's called La Prépa, and they also learn linear algebra like the formal way. So yeah.
In the Netherlands, we also have that, but it's like exclusively for the math department. We have like
mean,
a
that-
very
that-
formal abstract
Yeah.
course for math people, but we also
That-
have like
that
a
makes
variant
sense.
for
Yeah,
physics
yeah.
people, which is still abstract but less. It's like more applicable.
Yeah,
More
that
like
makes sense.
focused
In-
on physics.
I mean,
Yeah.
like for instance, in the linear algebra thing I'm going to write, I'm going to like do everything in at least some sense of generality. Like I'm not going to do modules. Modules are the generalization of a vector space. Basically, a vector space. I mean, really, like the definition of a vector space, you just change one thing, and you get a module. But modules are much harder to deal with because, well, you change one thing, and the one thing really made a lot of stuff behave good. So I'm not going to do like modules because that would just be crazy. But the way I chose to explain it would be that first, that basically I'm reading this as a first introduction to abstract algebra.
Right.
So basically thinking in terms of structures and so on and so forth. But if I just give the definition of a vector space right away, that's a lot of stuff, because if you like write out the full definition, since you need a lot of compatibility conditions, it seems big, it's scary. I don't want that to be like the first definition you read, because that may be discouraging. So instead, I'm just like doing a bit of
Oh.
groups.
Don't worry, I'm already plenty
First.
discouraged. I've done my own research, so I'm already there. It's fine. I'm
Good
ahead.
That through the depression.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, like what I will do if I ever get to teach linear algebra to first years, which is probably going to happen if I actually get a job in academia. Yeah. Like last Friday, we had some kind of presentation where my academic advisor, who is a working mathematician who actually does a lot of stuff, including knot theory. I feel in the spirit of things I should mention it. He basically told the entire room full of people who want to do math research for a living that jobs aren't looking too great.
Uh-oh.
5 years of postdoc coming my way. Yay. No, at least in France we have an exceptional situation because the first position you get is a permanent one, so that's something. You just have to get it, and there's
Job
like
security.
150 people who apply to the same thing, but that's fine.
This is like it's a bit of competition, you know. It's like less than 1% to get it. So whatever.
It's just- I already like passed a very competitive exam, so I just have to do it like a game. How can that be?
Just ignore all the problems and just pretend
Yeah,
everything
just-
is fine.
I just need to ignore all the problems, and I'm going to end up in some random town doing some random math after 5 years of moving to a new country each year.
I mean,
Maybe you just end up doing physics.
also I don't.
I'm not sure the job situation is better than electrical physics.
Also, I mean, like Walter White, kind of failed as a teacher, so he's just started doing math. So just do a similar thing. I don't know. Just don't go into academia and start whatever shorting stocks or something. I don't know what would be mathematical alternative to doing math.
I mean,
Inside the trade.
The mathematical alternative to doing math is probably like doing financial math.
Inside the trading.
It's not illegal, but it's probably even worse. So it evens out.
I mean, yeah, white collar crime. That's just gross.
It's not what color crime is. Just like.
I consider
finance.
it white collar. It's just it's not even crime.
Yeah, right.
White collar crime is just finance. Not even finance crime. It's just honestly, I like that. Yeah.
No, but I have an irrational. I have an irrational hatred of physics, but I have a rational hatred of finance.
I mean,
finance
yeah,
in
that would.
general.
I guess that would be even worse. Like it's fun to just quit teaching chemistry to do math, but I mean, quit teaching mathematics to work at BlackRock or something. That would be a tougher sell.
Yeah.
Wait. I was hearing that Roblox had a irrational fear or irrational hatred for physics, but a transcendental hatred for finance. With that, I'm going out. Bye bye. Enjoy
There he's
Cone.
gone. Cool.
All right.
That was
So,
quite something.
maybe let's get back to the linear algebra for a bit.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot I was doing a stream about that. Yeah.
All right. So the way I just explained it was to like first talk about groups, because the definition of groups is much easier to give than the definition of a vector space.
I remember the definition of
Because-
groups. I remember that one.
I mean, basically, like for groups, you only need like 3 things plus abstracting away the concept of an operation, which isn't too bad.
Isn't it?
I won't say it's easy, but like
No.
it's the easiest thing you can do. For vector space, like in full generality, I mean, you had not really simplified, but like you can do vector spaces over a more general thing than R or C. And so if you want to do stuff like the very general way, you need a lot of definitions before you can actually do stuff with vector spaces. So I chose to not do that. Instead, I do a little bit of abstract algebra, but not really, because I'm not really doing group theory. I'm just like giving basic facts about
It's
groups.
never a good sign when you need to foreshadow this much before an explanation. I just wanna throw that out there. It's never a good sign.
That's just the process where we'll like of how I explain linear algebra, like to ease. I want to say the subject. Yeah. To ease the subjects into the subjects, first I do like basic abstract algebra where I don't really delve deep into anything, but I like just get them comfortable with thinking in terms of structures, and then I introduce vector spaces by explaining that they're abstracting away a lot of things that we already know to be interesting to think about. And then we can get to like the interesting parts of spaces, subspaces, constructing new vector spaces, linear maps, isomorphisms, stuff like this. dimension, which is like the interesting part of the algebraic part of linear algebra is when the dimension is finite. When the dimension is infinite, you need a functional analysis, so it becomes quantum mechanics basically. It's harder, but like basically I just don't do linear algebra right away. I introduce stuff slowly. You just don't. It's that philosophy thing. Like you just don't throw a frog into boiling water. You slowly raise its
heat it up.
temperature so the frog
I
doesn't
mean,
realize it's being
yeah,
burnt
but I
alive.
mean, if you just tell the frog beforehand, hold on, frog, I'm gonna slowly raise the temperature of the water so that you won't be able to tell. Then the frog might be able to
I'm
tell.
waterbombing that frog right away. Alright. So maybe let's get back to the actual linear algebra.
Yeah, what's a vector space? I don't get it.
Oh, well, you have two things you want to do with vectors.
Right. Add and
You
scale.
want to add them together and you want to scale them. Yeah. So let's first do the addition. This is the easy part. So you've got V. V is a vector space. And you've got an operation plus on V. So it takes two vectors, it spits out another vector. And you want V plus to be an abelian group.
An abelian?
Exactly.
Okay.
What do I mean? Well, basically you have a 0. Oh wait, no. Actually, like first addition is associative. So we don't need parentheses, and this is like, I mean, I hope you're comfortable with the fact that addition doesn't need parentheses. I hope that seems fair.
What? Since when? I've always been adding them.
You've got some 0. Usually, like when you start doing linear algebra, we rate it 0v so you don't get confused. So it's the 0 vector.
Okay.
Right? So it's 0 vector, adding with it doesn't do anything. And you've got
Kind of like the
opposites
identity.
of vectors. So you've got minus x. You've got basically you can just like do vectors backwards. You can get back to 0 by doing minus something. And that's the abelian part. So that's just a group. And the abelian part is that x plus y is y plus x. It's commutative.
Okay.
Right, so like that's just the rules for addition. And actually, like a lot of stuff in math is actually something with an addition plus something else.
Okay.
And like when you define rings and fields, you also do this.
I'll be honest,
not
so
going to.
far I'm not lost. I understand addition, that's at least good.
The scaling is well, we're going to want to have the scaling. So I mean, like addition is basically a function that takes in two vectors and spits out another vector.
Yeah.
So scaling is not going to be a function that takes in two vectors. It's going to be a function that takes in a
Scalar and a vector.
and a vector.
That
Yeah, so that makes
checks out of me so far.
That should make sense. So we've got lambda.x.
I don't like this when you explain stuff because it's always it's how should I put this? It's basically like you know how when there's people boxing, right? Sometimes the fighters will like slow down, and then that will just to break up the rhythm, and then they manage to land like extremely slow punches, and it looks really weird because they just slow down their punches, and that confuses their opponent so much that those slow punches land. That's how I feel like right now. Where you're bringing in like all of those extremely obvious things to go slow for me, just go really slowly, and then at some point you're gonna sneak in something who's gonna confuse the heck out of me. That's what it feels like. So far it's all too simple. There's gonna be a pickle somewhere. I can feel it.
I mean, like, I guess that may be algebra in general. Like, okay, I can't really speak about this because I wouldn't consider myself well versed in something other than algebra. Like, I haven't done a proper partial differential equations course. Maybe I should one day, actually.
Cool.
Just to suffer a bit.
oh, that makes me feel even better. You know, I'm just gonna make a big video about linear algebra with you, just like your main thing about linear algebra. Okay, that's cool. That's no pressure.
Like, but like, I've heard some. Well, I've heard. No, I haven't heard. I've read a guy on Reddit, and I assume that people on Reddit tell the truth, which is a very BS assumption.
Always,
But you
no,
know,
they
we'll
always
do
know.
it.
No one ever lies on the internet.
I mean, I wouldn't be lying to you and saying, yeah, I'm actually doing a master's when in fact I'm just some random 18-year-old who hasn't even finished high school.
Yeah, but I mean,
Right?
okay, but I mean, that's kind of a harder thing to like fool someone about. You know, I don't think a random 18-year-old who hasn't finished high school could just pull this entire whiteboard off, if I'm honest.
Well, I mean, it
Honestly,
depends on how lucky you are when you pick the random 18-year-old.
Actually, no, honestly, if you are a random 18-year-old who hasn't even finished high school and you can do this, then I don't even care that you're lying to me. You know what? Good for you. I don't
finished
care.
high school. All right. So what was I saying? Yeah. So I've seen a guy on Reddit. I'm not sure it's a guy, but since they say they do research in math, you know, statistics are with me here.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but it's true.
Patriarchy, I get it.
And he says like that theorems in partial differential equations don't have like incredibly beautiful statements. Like they just say, "Oh, something is bounded," but the proofs are really cool, with really interesting techniques and stuff, and so on and so on. How women can do math? No, that's not what I said. I said they didn't. It's not the same thing.
Yeah, one is
For
sexist,
instance,
the other
I
one
can
is
do
just
math, but I still do it.
that's basically kind of like saying that, you know, women aren't the president of the United States, or like referring the president of the United States, the theoretical one, as he. Like, you're not saying they can't be the president, but I mean, well, they're not going to be. That's not sexist. That's just pointing out the patriarchy, which I mean that's fine. I guess they once almost had a female president. Twice they twice almost had a female president. Good for them. They almost done it.
Has Trump been charged with like beating his wife charges or something? Did he do like any actual violence against women other than just like raping them?
No, he only done rape. I mean, I'm sorry.
Is he like a?
I'm
is
sorry.
he a purely rape guy or?
I'm sorry. What kind of trap did you get me in where I had to reply with, "No, he only done rape"? Like, what in what?
Salt on an open wound.
In I gotta say, this is magnificent how with Trump you can say something like that and like my option to respond is no, he only did rape. Like that's the bar for only there. Also 30.
He's been charged with lots of shit. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, also
I mean, I wouldn't be
34
surprised either.
34 felonies, but that's it. If for more information, look up Rule 34 Trump for all the 34 rules that he broke. Yeah. Anyway, linear algebra.
Yes, so actually, due to a bug in crates in TF2, a lot of medic items are becoming more and more common. So there's going to be inflation. Google medic inflation to learn more.
Exactly.
All right, so scaling. Yeah. No, actually, what was I saying about PDs? Yeah. So the thing in algebra is that each time you just focus on one specific thing, it looks simple. But holding the entire picture in your head, you're like, that's a bit harder. Like, for instance, when you do algebraic topology, you need to be comfortable with topology, you need to be comfortable with a lot of algebra,
Okay.
and well,
I'm just
basically
trying
when
to
you
understand what a vector space is.
No, but like, I'm just talking about math in general, you know. So, like, when you do any piece of individual stuff in algebra, it's not like in homological algebra, it's not like that hard. But in the end, when you're but like basically every time you prove a theorem, you're just like packaging it into a little box, and every time you do math after that, you just point to a little box and say, yeah, so the little box allows me to do that. And you make bigger boxes and bigger boxes, and in the end you're like, oh yeah, so I just have to apply the Schiffer theorem here, and this is trivial. What's the proof of the Schiffer theorem? Well, if you count all the lemmas, it's like 300 pages long. So yeah, it's trivial, really. What I'm saying is that mathematics is locally trivial. I hope Theo will laugh at this joke. All right, so let's get back to simpler stuff.
what the vector space is. All right, yeah.
Let's
okay.
go back to the
Okay,
scaling.
so this is adding, this is scaling, this is linearity,
Yeah.
basically, right?
We just need a little bit more stuff.
Okay.
So I've written lambda in f, and we're going to say f is either r or c to simplify a bit here, but it could be more things. But like in nearly all applications that are not funky math business, you're going to see r or c.
Yeah,
I believe.
in the video I'll only begin with C. So
Yeah. Actually, maybe if you do some computer science, you may see funky things like z over pz, but let's not get into that. That's not the point.
right.
So the thing is that we have two operations basically on our vectors, and anytime you have two operations in math, it's not really interesting to just like have two operations. You always want some kind of relations between them.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Is
So
it
for
going to
instance,
be-
yeah. So I'm just going like to list a lot of properties, and
Okay.
I'm going
Once
to
again,
say
I've gone over this in the PDF so far, so I'm still with you.
all right. So, for instance, we'd like our scaling to behave well with respect to addition. So,
Yeah.
like we'd like to have this relation, which if you've ever done some vectors in like, when did I do that? Like 10th grade? I did this in 10th grade, yeah. Like in 9th or 10th grade, you're probably like saying, yeah, obviously this should hold. Next, if you do the addition, but on the other way on the scalars, well, it should work like this. It should transform into the addition of the vectors.
So basically like 6th grade maths.
It's not really 6th grade. You're not doing linear algebra in 6th grade, at least not
Yeah, but I
anymore.
mean, you can replace the vector with a scalar and the maths would still be the same. It's just that in this case...
Back in my day, we used to do linear algebra in 6th grade.
Back in my day,
both ways. On one foot, my other foot was starting a business.
Back in my day, we were just sitting in class and then a random motherfucker just came in with a fucking boiled chicken and proclaimed it to be a human, alright? Those are the good times.
No, but for real, actually, there was a time in France where we did linear algebra in like, well, not 6th grade, but like in high school. For some reason, we stopped doing that. Right, so I'm actually not going to. You know what? Y'all are adults. You should be comfortable with implicit multiplication.
Mate, I don't mean to be that guy, but so far you're listing like properties that I feel like an 11-year-old could comfortably grasp. So
I mean, there are definitely 11-year-olds who grasp this.
yeah.
All right.
And the only reason why I
so-
say 11-year-old is because I think most 10-year-olds would just not understand that these are letters, Greek letters. So yeah, that's kind of the only one.
All right, so
identity
basically what
makes
you're saying
sense.
is that if you're born Greek, it's easier to do math.
Yeah, they have an
No,
advantage.
actually,
They play that
you
rap
need the
with
Latin
fools.
alphabet. Actually, you need like one of your parents to be Greek and the other to be to use the Latin alphabet. And we want 1x to be x. I don't think this surprises anyone.
Since when? Whoa, I thought the identity element times x is equal to x. This is confusing.
All right. So I think this should be all we need, but just in case, I'm going to double check on Wikipedia because, well, basically you write the full definition like at most 5 times in your life, and then you forget about it and you just do subspaces. But I think this should be it. So yeah, this is good. This is good. I don't see this is okay. Investments, yeah. Compatibility, this works. Yeah.
Just about how you said earlier on, that by the way,
I got it right. Yes.
earlier on,
I still have first year math.
I mean, yeah, the thing is, earlier on when you said that you could be just a random 18-year-old, I don't think an 18-year-old like that would, like, I feel like this is the definitive proof of if someone's a mathematician or not, if they actually spend this much time to write out the full definition, proper with, you know, stuff like 1x is equal to x. The thing is, if you were an 18-year-old, you would skip all that. You wouldn't think of it. And that's actually the ultimate test to see if you're a mathematician or not. If you don't start by defining absolutely everything properly, and just taking this. Oh, nothing is obvious. Oh, I'm sorry. You think that happens because of common sense? Well, we're dealing with special fucking things. Common sense ain't gonna help you here, bub. Do carry on. I'm sorry for the tangent.
Actually, the reason why you can't skip over stuff like this is because usually, well, okay, I don't really know if this applies everywhere, but at least like in my uni, like at least starting at third year math, if you're going to have a couple students in the audience who try to come up with weird examples of the stuff you're describing to see if it works. I know this because I'm one of them. No, it depends. It depends. There are some classes where I definitely absolutely do not listen, like, about anything. But when I try to when I sat through the category theory part of the commutative algebra course while already knowing category theory, I had a lot of opinions about it.
Arrive on some good identities. Gets removed from the premises.
I mean, we already had a long discussion about the tits group, so you know, and the penis.
And the penis, yeah, of course. It's a great spectroscopy tool, honestly.
All right, so this is a definition of a vector space. Like,
Right.
that's all. Now, the definition on its own in math is like, anytime you give a definition, you should give examples. If you don't, you have mental issues. or you're
Yes.
deliberately trying to make your reader scared of something.
Wait, example of what in this case? Like the
A vector space.
a vector space.
I define what a vector space is, and well, I should give examples.
Wait
for
a
two
second,
reasons.
hold on. Do you define so? Which part is the vector space?
Well, V is a vector space. Is the set of all vectors, and you've got the addition, and you've got the scaling.
Hold on. Whoa. So. You see, the pickle that strikes me is that you've added. I'll actually let you move it before I draw anything. Okay, you've added a V here, and then you like.
I mean, yeah, I didn't write it every time because maybe I'm actually an 18-year-old, but
No. What I mean is that you've
explain
defined the V here, but like then you absolutely
no.
did not.
Yeah, no. I suffer from mathematics brain rot, if that wasn't obvious.
I suffer from mathematics. In the most recent video that I'm gonna finish tomorrow, there's like one segment where I'm just like, oh yeah, to you it may seem like volume times pressure just gives you thermal energy, but that's actually wrong because that's a different department. That department is thermodynamics, and over there a deadly virus of mathematics was released because they just had to throw in entropy everywhere. So I mean, I don't understand. You suffer from mathematics. It's crazy, yeah, and I'm so sorry. And French too, honestly, just the entire thing. But hold on. So so X.
Yeah,
is,
I forgot to say, but V is a set of things.
Wait, so does that mean that like X is in V? So does that mean that it defines a vector space as in if an object in vector space follows all of this, then that is a vector space?
Technically, you need the object, so V, and the two operations, so the addition and the scaling. If you've got the data of V, the addition and the scaling, and the conditions are verified, then yeah, it's a vector space.
Okay, so like if you have a set in which every single object follows this, then that's a vector space.
Well, you need the addition multiplication, but yeah, that's a vector space.
Okay, then I
basically
understand
like for kind of technical math reasons that we usually like. I mean, like technically you need to actually like specify what the for instance, take the complex numbers. The complex numbers are a vector space over the complex numbers. that may seem like okay.
How Einstein
like,
felt after saying that that light travels at the speed of light, honestly.
Yeah. But actually, I have brain damage.
No, you're just a mathematician.
Numbers,
What was the difference?
same thing. But the complex numbers are also a vector space over the real numbers.
Well, you see.
Yes.
Hold on, how does that work? I don't.
Well, basically, like, all right. So I've told you here f could be c or r
Right.
in the scaling part. Well, I mean, if you know how to do stuff with complex numbers, well, you know how to do stuff with
Oh,
only
is
real
it
numbers.
because? Oh, hold on. Is it because you can, if y is in C, right? Then with the scaling rule, which is fudge this one, then you could have a complex number, and then what did you say with the complex numbers being over real numbers?
Like real numbers are a subset of complex numbers.
Okay, then never mind. That makes sense. That's obvious. Okay, there we go.
Like you can just like forget that lambda could be a complex number and just say, well, I only want it to be a real number.
But that's just complex numbers with with y the imaginary part being equal to 0.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I'm with you then.
Like why I'm insisting on the addition and the scaling being important in the definition is because, well, in both cases the set is the same. Like complex numbers are still complex numbers. The vectors are the same. But you're not scaling by the same thing, so the multiplication, the scaling is not the same. That's where the difference is.
Okay.
I mean that this may look like some kind of technical math thing, and for basic linear algebra purposes, it is. But for instance, like when you get to defining the dimension of a vector space, well, you will always say it's the complex plane because it's of dimension 2 over the real numbers. So we have something like this. But actually, if we work over C, we actually have dimension 1. And like once you get into the algebra mindset, it makes a lot of sense. If you're allowing a lot of scalars, you can basically go anywhere from 1. So you only need 1 to go everywhere in C if you have complex numbers. But if you only have real numbers, well, you need 1 and I.
Okay, so
two
hold
things.
on. So is this like the full definition of
That's the full definition.
like damn it, I want to ask a question, but I'm not going to ask it properly, and then you're just going to say no. But that's not because I should ask the question. Is this the full definition of linear algebra?
No.
Exactly, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, like linear algebra requires it's linear. You can do linear algebra without linear maps. I'd say, like, you can at first you only know about vector spaces, but in every branch of algebra, if you only have the things and not the maps between the things, it's very boring.
Oh, what I mean to say is, okay, so this is the definition of a vector space, basically, right?
Yes. This plus this, yes.
Hold on, well, it just hit me. What was the original question I asked you?
Is this the full definition of linear algebra?
No, I mean on the very beginning when you joined in.
You asked me about extending linear maps with complex numbers instead of real numbers.
Yeah, it just hit me. This answers it, doesn't it? Because f can be just
it's
c.
just changing f.
Oh well, then
It's just that.
okay.
It's a bit like asking, is this cube geometry exactly?
Okay, then I guess.
I mean, like, even if you ask, like, are shapes geometry? Well, ignoring all the issues with what geometry is.
By the way, do you know how little I knew about linear algebra before I actually started digging into it for this video?
No, but I assume you knew the normal amount of linear algebra, which is 0.
Yeah, but the thing is, I've never genuinely, for some reason, never been exposed to this. Probably because I'm fucking self-taught, so like I'm not insane. So why would I ever think that? But like, only in one of the library textbooks have I been introduced to the complex concept of linear algebra as solving systems of linear equations, and like a matrix as just a way to solve these systems.
I mean, you can think of it like that,
I think it's a pretty
That's-
cool way
that's
to
the-
think about it, honestly.
That would be like probably the applied math point of view. If you're coming at it from a pure math point of view, it's like obviously useful to know it can do that, but you think about it
But
in a lot more ways.
but I think it's basically it was x. Hold on, it was if you have equations ax plus by is equal to c or whatever, and then you have wait, no, that's gonna be confusing. Cx plus dy. My handwriting of the mouse is terrible already, and these little characters are not doing me not helping in any way. Then this would be cool to like F and E or whatever. Then you can just translate it here with A, B, C, D,
Yes.
X, Y, and you basically, if I'm not mistaken, this
Yeah.
is just like a system of linear equations just expressed in terms of a matrix vector. I don't know why, I just find that really cool. That's just
But like you see, like thinking about it from this point of view is, in my opinion, kind of from a pure math point of view wrong, because that requires you to know what the matrix product does.
yeah.
But there is it's if from this angle multiplying matrices seems like a very clever way of multiplying weird tables of numbers that somebody figured out to solve this particular problem, when in fact, as I explained the other day, it actually like comes from a very natural thing to do. And well, I mean, basically, if you could think, I'd say the more pure math point of view would be like to think of.
Okay.
My differential geometry professor used to say, algebra is the administration of mathematics. Basically, like you can think of linear
Interesting.
algebra as a language that allows you to very conveniently express stuff like, solving such problems.
Yeah.
But like from a pure math point of view, I'd say it's important for a lot of things. Like, I mean, I was going to say defining dimension, but I'm sure the algebraic geometers have found some smarty pants way of defining dimension that doesn't use linear algebra, because these people scare me. But and I'm going to become one of them.
I would have one more question then, and it's a rough one, because the more I look into it, the more it's driving me mad, and I think that's just. And the worrying thought is that it's not because I'm misunderstanding it, only because I am understanding it, in fact, which I mean for mathematics wouldn't be surprising. The determinant again.
Yes.
The more I look into it, it seems like from every single definition I find, it is just defined as each matrix has a determinant that is of a certain scalar value, and determinant is just a scalar value for any particular matrix.
No, no actual math textbook would give that definition, like, because it obviously, I mean, if you're a mathematician, you would obviously go, well, what the fuck, this doesn't tell me anything.
No, what I mean is that they obviously then list like the properties of the determinant, right? That, you know, the requirements that the determinant needs to meet, like the anti-symmetrical one and so on and so forth. The requirements that the determinant has to meet in order to be a determinant. However, every single definition just starts with, oh yeah, every single matrix has a corresponding determinant, which is just the scalar value you get based on that matrix. And what is a determinant? Well, a determinant is just what you get from each matrix as a scalar value. And there is like no meaning beyond that. It's just, oh yeah, each matrix has one. What is it? Well, here's the properties of the determinant.
No math textbook would say that, because the problem is that when you define an object through its properties, you're not really defining the object. You actually need to show that it exists in math, because we are philosophers, actually.
Oh, don't call yourself that. That's mean to yourself. The only guys better.
No, the only good ones are like Wittgenstein, because he said that philosophy is fucking useless and fucking nonsense. and David Benatar for obvious reasons, and us for also obvious reasons. I'm very modest, by the way. I'm the most modest person I know. No, but basically, like, no math textbook would ever define it like this. It happens sometimes that we define objects through their properties, but we don't usually call that a definition unless there's some kind of thing justifying it.
Given a square
Like,
matrix A of this, the determinant of A is defined as this, where the sum is over all permutations of n elements.
Like, this is an actual definition because it actually tells you, because like you know from math that this sum is actually a scalar and it depends on the matrix because it depends on its entries. So this is actually a definition.
I mean, yeah, it tells me, but what the problem I have is the thing that's driving me nuts is that with these definitions, they like don't tell you why why should you care about the determinant. Like,
it's a bad one. That's what I said.
But that's every single one I find.
It's because the actual good one that you use to actually care about the determinant is much harder to come across. You need to do a lot of abstract linear algebra to actually get to it.
It's just driving me nuts. This is probably the best linear algebra textbook I have seen on LibraText so far, because the chapter before the determinant is permutations, and it's going over them in quite some detail, which I find quite nice.
Any linear algebra textbook should probably explain that, because it's quite unfair to assume the student already knows about permutations when learning determinants.
The thing is, it's just in mathematics, determinant is a scalar valued function of the entries of a square matrix. Like, and determinant of a matrix is I know, but it's driving me nuts because no matter where I go, hold on. Oh, determinants LibraText. Let's see.
But I mean, I would usually recommend Sheldon Exler's book on linear algebra, because he does stuff the mostly correct way, except on determinants, because he has a motivated, but I would say slightly over the top hatred of them.
Okay, this is the definition I was thinking of when I brought this up. The determinant is a function, right, satisfying the following properties, and it just gives you
that's not a definition.
Yeah, I know. It's driving me nuts.
I mean, actually, you could make it into a definition if you actually like proved it's unique, like such a function exists, and it's uniquely if you know that it satisfies these properties, it must be the determinant. And maybe you can, but if it's not done right after, it wouldn't count that as an actual definition.
Wait, but if it satisfies... Okay, hold on. If it satisfies these properties, then it's a determinant, right?
I don't know. I would have to think about that.
No. That's not what I mean. You just said that if it satisfies these properties... hold on. Damn it, I already forgot what you said, because I just got so flabbergasted. So... You would have to check if it satisfies these properties, that is actually determinant. Doesn't that mean that there is some way to check if something is determinant?
Well, yes. I mean, basically what you would do is that first you would find an example of a function that works. So a function that could be a determinant.
Yeah.
And then what you like to show that your construction is not meaningless because stuff actually exists. And then what you would do would be, all right, so let's imagine that I have any function from square matrices to R that satisfies these properties, and I need to show that this function is actually the determinant. And you would do that through probably some reasoning based on linear algebra.
But doesn't that require you to like have a concept of a determinant? To like, if you want to check if something is determinant, you need to know what is determinant.
If you like were building up math yourself, you probably wouldn't come to determinants like in this way, I think. This actually kind of requires you to have some concept.
I just feel like but the problem, I just feel like I'm being gaslit by the entire field of just all of maths is gaslighting me, just constantly bring up.
I think it's just a LibraText issue. Like, I don't think any reasonable math textbook would define it.
But no. Like the problem I'm having is I feel like I'm being gaslit by all of mathematics, and everything keeps referring to the determinant, but I don't have a fucking clue about what it is.
It's because it's hard, but like when you do linear
no, like,
algebra the
you-
correct way, you don't talk about determinants for almost the entire semester, where you first learn algebra and you do fine.
No, but I mean, like you get like probably, for example, imagine if I defined a function that I call the determinant or whatever, right? Just
Yes, determinant.
determinant, exactly.
What's next? Naming a particle the graviton.
Go roast it. I'd rather sprinkle it. But the determinant, right? And like I defined a bunch of properties for them, and then the pickle I'm struggling with the determinant is that I keep seeing the word determinant. I keep seeing where it's used or some uses of them. I keep seeing all the different properties that determinants have, but I've never seen a single explanation of why is it considered a separate thing? Why did we separate the determinant from all the other functions we could create based on matrices?
No, but well, there are a lot of that's because you weren't given a proper definition. You're right to feel mad about that. When you actually do linear algebra and you consider some objects that are natural and stuff to consider, you eventually invent the determinant. If you I guess the most natural way of doing it would probably to try and wonder about volume, and it turns out it's the determinant.
Yeah, but I mean, with the volume, then you wouldn't need the sign, would you? That's what's bugging me so much, because with volume, you
need to actually accept sign volume.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's precisely what's bugging me so much is the fact that with volume, the sign is counterproductive, and the determinant, and for determinants, clearly sign is very important because you have the antisymmetric.
It's not really, because if you're I assume you know what the right-hand rule says in physics. If you transform space by something that has a negative determinant, your right hand is going to become your left hand.
So it's like symmetry. So it's volumes, but switching symmetry, and if every single time it switches symmetry, it switches to negative.
The fancy term for this is reversing orientation. Now,
so like
you can still object something, which is that if you were a normal person, you wouldn't think of packaging reversing orientation and volume into a single mathematical object, and that's perfectly fair.
Hold on, wait. So like the determinant, if you have some kind of space, all right. Okay. What I'm gonna say may not be perfectly formally correct, but just you'll get what I mean. So bear with me.
I mean, it's extremely normal to be at points in math where you can make sentences that sound vaguely correct, even though you're not really comfortable with the objects. I'm at that point in other areas too.
All right, I'm glad you sympathized that, because this is gonna be rough. You have some kind of space, n-dimensional space. Then you apply some sort of matrix transform on that space. The determinant tells you, like, if you have some kind of object in that space, so let's say a set of vectors or whatever, then the determinant tells you how these objects will be transformed. So how will they get stretched and how will they get flipped? Or rather, not flipped, only mirrored, let's say.
It doesn't really... Yeah, kinda. It doesn't really tell you exactly what happens precisely to these objects. Like, it's just the determinant. It's not enough to encapsulate all the information about the matrix transform. But you're right that if you take a specific kind of object, it can tell you about what the volume will end up being, and whether the orientation is reversed or not. You're right about that. Okay. And I think that's basically the two things it tells you.
Okay, then that helps.
That doesn't really answer your question.
No, it doesn't.
I'm a mathematician because I'm immediately criticizing what I just said. It's not self-esteem issues, it's mathematics,
Can I just tell you one thing? Like, how I earlier on complained how with every single definition they just first tell you that it's a number associated to a matrix, and they just give you the properties then? Well, I mean, properties of determinants. It starts with the determinant is a number associated with any square matrix, and then it gives you the properties. Thank you, MIT! Thank you! Lovely! I'm glad!
Well, I mean, that's because there's a reason why they're doing this. It's because if you really want to, and I think the correct way to introduce the determinant requires a lot of algebra. And in the first course on linear algebra, you probably don't want to get too deep into the algebra part because it may scare a lot of people away. And if you don't want to use this definition, well, the easiest one to use would be the big formula with the permutation, but the problem is that it comes out of nowhere. And it's big and scary, and we don't really use it in practice. In practice, we care mostly about the properties of the determinant to use them. So that's why they do a property-first approach. And you know, actually, I have a book. I'm reading a book that does this. Not for determinants, but for an algebraic topology thing. It's Characteristic Classes by Milner and Stashev. I'm absolutely not pronouncing Stashev right, but who cares? It's about characteristic classes, as the name implies. And if I just like pull up the book real quick, if I look at the chapters, so it starts out with some differential geometry, smooth manifold, then vector bundles, which is like vector bundles are a geometric thing, and characteristic classes are a way to study these geometric things. Then it introduces characteristic classes, but it doesn't define them. It just says, we will prove later that there are some stuff that's hard to define that satisfies these properties. And like, it's fine because in practice, you don't really care about the definition, you care about the properties. That's natural point of view in higher math. When you define something using category theory, you're basically doing this. Actually, one of my PhD student friend actually complained about this the other day. Hold on, what did he say actually?
I just found one thing. I'm losing my mind. I don't know if we can see the stream.
Composite no determinants.
We can visualize a mathematical knot as a knot. That's the most knot theory thing I think I've ever seen. We can visualize a mathematical knot as a knot. I want to explain determinants in terms of knot theory. Way of determining whether the projection of the two are the same knot for the people define equivalence of the orientation. I'm saving this as one of the sources for the video. I don't know how I'm gonna use it, but I'm gonna find a way to use that in the video. Hydrohex.
Right.
I'm curious about something coming from.
Yeah, so why not use composition notation instead of the dot? It's because for some reason people all agree that we are going to teach linear algebra the bad way and not tell everyone that matrices are truly functions. At least in the US. In France, we do stuff the right way. I mean, we don't use composition notation with matrices, but we do linear maths before matrices, so it's not really a big deal.
Oh, you mean how like when you use a matrix, you do a dot so that it's more confusing? Yeah, I mean, it's why do like scientists in general, not just math, just scientists in general, why do they always do that? When they have a function, they just want to feel special, and they just don't know that as a function. I've been in quantum mechanics. Whenever I see just psi just there by itself, it makes me just lose my mind, because psi is a function, but psi is a value, it's a scalar. And it's just, unless, of course, you're talking about psi. Now, you may notice that these two have the same notation. Yes, they do, because sometimes people use the bar psi to denote a scalar, which is the something with just normalizing it, and other times they use the bar psi in order to denote the Fourier transform of this one, and it's just making me crazy. Just add the freaking brackets there, x and t at the very least, or even if that's too much, just r and t for the sake of preserving my sanity.
Hey, make it. Do you want to know what field of math is known for having the worst notation?
What is it?
Differential geometry. And you may put on your tinfoil height for this, but I believe it's because the physicists are very scared of functions, but they like numbers, so they write everything out with coordinates, and there's a billion indices in everywhere. and it becomes hell.
You-
And you
it-
know I'm right, because I've actually got at least one guy to agree with me. Actually, I've met someone who hates physics like 10 times more than I do. But that's probably because he started out wanting to do theoretical physics, then realized what physics are. So,
I do have to say that there is something like the more you abstract in science, like every single time someone abstracts, they're just like, oh yeah, we're just trying to make something that's useful, not something that's perfect. And every single time you lower the abstraction, you're like, oh yeah, you're ruining that thing with X. So you know just how physicists ruin math with application, and chemists ruin physics by introducing exceptions everywhere. There's always this sort of
I mean,
dynamic where the
I
more
mean, a philosopher would probably say to a mathematician that they're ruining philosophy by making it work.
you're not
And a
wrong.
chemist is basically ruining physics by making it not work.
Philosophy. I mean, I really like the thing that you said. I'm gonna start calling. I'm gonna call it your quote because it goes hard. Math is just that part of philosophy that works. I
You know,
really like that.
It's natural quote for me. Like I made this up. This bullshit is real. Like it's purely me. No, but yeah, like I mean, defining an object through its properties, like the way it's done in the textbooks you pulled up, it's not really mathematically rigorous.
So I'll just have to
Because-
accept that it just
No, I'd say
represents.
it's the fault on the. I'd say it's the fault on the part of the textbook. Honestly, like in the linear algebra thing I'm writing, I'm going to do it properly with an actual definition. But this point of view of defining stuff with properties, or at least being more interested into the properties of the stuff than into the actual stuff, is a legitimate point of view that we usually have in algebra. But it's like usually we still need actual definitions of stuff. We just don't assume we don't just assume the mathematics work out magically. But like for instance, when you're sometimes like you just I mean, I don't know because I'm not quite there yet, but I know there are in like very advanced algebraic geometry, or whatever scary field of math is related to algebra. A lot of times people will construct a very big, ugly object using abstract nonsense. And by that I mean category theory, which means that they're going to define an object through what it does rather than what it is. And but in each case, there is some technical lemma somewhere that says that, yeah, you can just ask for the object to do stuff and it exists, it's real. Like, you just don't make stuff up, is what I'm saying. Math, physics, chemistry, biology, neuroscience, psychology.
I would say
Psych-
between chemistry and biology.
It's not pronounced psychology, obviously. English would make too much sense. It's pronounced psychology.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mister. Water has 3 different vowels, and we pronounce it as the 4th one. Okay, well, just
But every time these vowels are together, you pronounce them the same way?
I would just like to mention that in my language, no matter how you chop up the words, they always sound the same. You can throw a space bar in between any 2 letters, and you will pronounce it the exact same way.
Yes, but your language is Polish, so already
Fair
having
point.
the required biology, having the required alien vocal cords to pronounce whatever letters you made up is actually like a pretty big struggle. Reminds me how you say birds in French. We call them oiseaux, which makes a lot of sense because Y is always pronounced OI is always pronounced wa, O is always pronounced O, and an S between 2 vowels is always pronounced Z, I think.
I love how it's
The part you're allowed to complain about that part because it's not intuitive, and you're allowed to complain about the silent X because it's a silent letter. You're allowed to complain about that. But you know what's a silent letter? The P in psychology. Or psychology, I guess. Or I don't know. Have you ever thought? Do you mind telling me where a king lives?
where a king
Or
lives?
where the British live?
No, they don't.
Yeah, exactly. Where the British reside, on an island. Oh, an island? I thought they were in Iceland based on the text. Oh,
Iceland.
but no, that's a whole different country. Where does a king live? In a castle. No, a fucking castle. Because
Oh,
not
yeah.
only is a letter silent, when
Oh,
you have an L and an E, you just switch them around.
Oh yeah,
For fuck's
mate.
sake.
Oh yeah, mate. I love religion.
Table? No, table.
No.
But you know how it's said in French? It's said table.
Reblax,
Therefore it's fucking
Reblax,
pronounced.
Reblax. Listen, yeah, I love religion. My favorite book, the Bible.
People. Oh yeah, I. A very good letter. It's pronounced I, like the name of the letter, unless it's fucking pronounced E. Unless it's pronounced some other eldritch thing. You know, like in French, at least the vowels make sense. Like O is O. In French, you don't say I go. You say I go. With 3 fucking vowels.
Wait, so in French, if you see a
In
word,
French,
is it really
In French, 3
consistent?
vowels are pronounced as 1 vowel, and in English, 1 vowel is actually 3 vowels in disguise.
I mean, because to be fair, in English you can have lead in your water, but at the same time you can lead someone, and that's like the same exact word except you pronounce it completely differently.
You know what my English teacher, like the second to last time I had one, always said? That he was like, yeah, you know, like the past tense of learn is supposed to be learned, but the English people are actually regularizing it, so it's learned now with ed. You people are so unable to speak your own language. You are making it simpler.
That is true.
Keep
Though.
going, please.
That is true, though. I mean, there is no denying that. Because I may be wrong, but I do believe
Throat.
cough through broad. Yeah, that is also. I may be wrong, but I do believe English is like the biggest mess of a language. And I don't mean it from like a subjective, oh, the language makes sense. No, just historically. How many languages were combined to make the modern English? Or rather, how many haven't been combined? We fucked shit up.
Buffalo, 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 buffalo.
That's a sentence. It's valid. English had
too many vowel ships for its own good. For everyone's good, actually, because everyone is forced to speak it.
Oh, I see how it is. You just saw that y'all didn't get to colonize the world, did you? I think that
I don't give a shit about colonization. I just want to do math, but now I'm going to have to like go in front of audiences and be like, "Hi guys, I did the math. Let me explain it to you with several mispronunciations along the way because your language is fucking hell." But since math is a very international community, I am sure I won't be the only one in the room grieving that. I mean, like, okay, I'm going to like write something in chat, right?
I mean, I do have to
I
say
want
that
you make it without
Yeah.
looking it up to tell me how you'd pronounce this guy's name.
Stephen Clean.
I pronounced it. It's a theoretical science guy, theoretical computer science guy. He did some stuff, and like I said, clean for the entirety of my second year. The clean star. What the fuck do I learn last year? My lambda calculus teacher is this kind of person who pronounces words right, and he pronounces it cleany.
Cleany? No,
It's fucking pronounced cleany.
there's no way that's Cleany.
Look it up. It's cleany.
That's mad.
It's
would
fucking.
pronounce-
It's fucking cleany. And you know what? I actually have a French equivalent for this.
The
Any
broccoli.
sane French person would pronounce this de breuil. Like, if you're a normal French speaker and you don't know who this guy is, you would say this de breuil instinctively. But no, it's fucking de broglie. Why? Why is it always the people with the weird names making the science? I'm not even an objection to this. I have a Polish last name.
Wait, what?
I'm not even sure I pronounced it correctly, and I'm going to say it because I think at some point my dad was like, you and me are the only 2 people in the world with that last name, so, you know, I'm not going to dox me or my dad, though you'll never know if I'm me or my dad, actually, so I'm not really doxing myself. Yeah, I'm not going to say that. Like,
That's-
if you Google my name, you probably have results coming up.
That's fair. That's fine.
It's like if you Google the first name of my commutative algebra teacher, only her pops up. She's the only person with that name. American English is a bit better than British, but then we ruined it with our fucking accents. Yeah, that checks out.
I wouldn't say American English is a bit better than British, though. I wouldn't say so. That's because
Maybe
the precise reason why English is so screwed up is because it's a mishmash of languages. You know, it went from Roman, then combined with the entire continent. You French people also just meddle your dirty paws in there, and then American English is that, except carried over. Ain't, for goodness sake, ain't. What does ain't mean? What does ain't mean? The word ain't.
Ain't.
If you deny ain't, can you say a as a not negative version? Oh yeah, I ain't done nothing,
No.
but I ain't done something.
You gotta say ain't. Like, I mean, like, to take the negative, you gotta say ain't.
I mean,
Like,
to be
thought
fair,
this was
I can't hate on that because I do often say, you know, y'all ain't. Just as a single one. I just love mashing them together. Yolv is probably one of my favorite ones.
Yolv.
Which is Yolv. But then there are even better ones. Hold on. Yolvent is the one I have done in the past. Yolvent is probably...
Maybe their brains are too expensive to understand their name as a child, so they became smarter. No, actually, like, this is a common misconception. Actually, I'm not sure I'm even pronouncing my own name correctly, but I learned it when I was a little child because I was given access to a Windows Vista PC, and it was the administrator password, so obviously you gotta learn that. This is true, by the way.
Hi, the Retrotivity. I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? You can't apply logic to English, silly. That makes... yeah. Oh. I haven't been rendering in a while. Oh no, I've just been sitting in the background. Blender just... That's cool. Finish the video. It's fine, I have coffee, I'll manage. Oh, I have an
Anyways,
egg sandwich waiting on me. Give me a second.
Okay, so make it's good. So I'm basically like the streamer now.
Was good. I made myself 2 egg sandwiches before the stream. I forgot about them. They're just there chilling. It was great. I'm good just doing schoolwork, my play Minecraft later. That's fair. Stream stealer.
It was my stream for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
10 seconds of fame.
10 seconds of fame. I would like to mention that
Okay,
this
actually-
entire whiteboard was made on stream.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
I do have to
Not
say,
on this stream, but, you know,
the decision to not delete anything was genius. I love it.
I mean, honestly, I feel like if I had some kind of infinite whiteboard, like if I had some fancy iPad and I could write on it and stuff, I would probably like feel the urge to not delete anything. But then I would probably need like more than 2D space to write out everything.
You're just describing Blender. I mean, that's what I do in Blender. I really often, you know, just write stuff like this. There we go. It doesn't get confusing later on. Blender's, yeah.
Okay, I'm low-key tempted to do that.
I actually really often, instead of explaining stuff in Paint, I mostly use Paint because it's convenient for colors. But if you don't care about colors, I mean, Blender's much easier. Also, you can just keep going up. So on one of the previous streams, the one in which I was trying to create my own model queues. Oh my gosh, how long ago was that? Hello, Make It. How is the linear algebra treating you? It ain't bad, actually. It really ain't.
It's what? Which word did you use?
It ain't treating me bad, I said.
Ain't.
Yeah.
That's why they're quaint.
Oh, when did I make the model cubes? Oh, that was right. That was okay. Hmm.
Anyways, I mean, I was going to like talk about cool application of linear algebra, but basically, if you're interested in solving differential equations with just numbers as coefficients, not functions, just numbers, and you're interested in like doing the kind of equations you would want to solve when you're doing harmonic oscillators in physics, so you know, kind of a big deal.
Right.
Well, actually, like when I was in my first year, we did a proof of what the solutions were because we needed it for physics. Obviously, it's harmonic oscillators. But the proof was horrible. It was just calculations everywhere, all the way. It's just ugly. And I never memorized it. I never learned it. I was supposed to. I never did. You're supposed to learn proofs. Well, not really learn proofs, but like be able to redo them. Yeah, though this one, no, never learned it. But when you're in your second year, you learn a very useful thing from linear algebra, which basically allows you to get away with only knowing how to do a little bit of linear algebra and just knowing how to solve first order differential equations, which are much easier. So that's pretty cool. like yeah, the linear algebra really trivializes quite a portion of the proof. So that's like one of my favorite applications because I saw the horrible proof without linear algebra, and then with linear algebra, it was very easy. It's
Yeah,
like, for
because the
instance,
derivatives follow the linearity,
Yeah.
right?
exactly, derivative is a linear operator that's actually like very important. That's very important. I'm going to elaborate. Yeah. That's what we in linguistics like to call the glottal stop. The linguistics people, I'm sorry, linguistics people, but you were all out of ideas, and you were just like, what if we made a sound, which was nothing? The glottal stops are just made up were made up by big phonetics to sell more phonetics.
Who the cool person in call? That's Roblox. That's like, imagine if Roblox had a sequel.
Hi, Retrotivity. I'm the lesser known sequel to Roblox. Roblox. That's me.
Exactly.
I do math, and I have no definitive existence outside of this particular field of study.
Just,
This is only half a joke, and this is kind of scary. Anyways,
I mean, at the same time, I feel like I can relate to just having your entire personality be associated with a single thing. I would just like to know that if the concept of a make it didn't exist, I would be gone, man. I wouldn't have much of a life. Yes, you're doing maths. I'm doing fucking YouTube, okay? Like, you want to compare?
imagine if Roblox was maths instead of games. But also we cut down. Since like in the sequel, there's a lot. I'm sorry to announce that to all my dear fans, but in the sequel to Roblox, there's a lot less child exploitation.
Is there sex in the sequel?
No,
Oh, damn it. Damn it.
I mean I had a girlfriend once.
Oh.
I had.
Oh.
Yeah. Your sex room. What's a girlfriend? A good question, actually. I was never shown a proper definition.
Can we like stop with this whole, oh, let's just be loners? I feel like it's setting a bad vibe, you know? As I've already mentioned this previously, you're all being extremely selfish, okay? If you're not actively in a relationship, you are basically depriving me of potential viewers, which I think is quite selfish of you. So can we stop with like, oh yeah, we're all so lonely? Can we all just, I don't know, as kids say these days, go get some bitches? Daddy needs the views, okay? So like, I don't know, date or something? My goodness. Really? Have tried, failed twice. Then try the second time. Third time the charm. That's what they always say. Paper, do you really want to deprive me of the views, the subscriptions? Damn it. That's... We live in a society, alright? 50,000 subs, not a single dom. Have to go make it more viewers. Exactly! No one in a relationship watches your content make it. You would be surprised. You actually... Quite a lot of people... Well, I mean... Quite a lot.
Yeah, Lemon, I saw your question, but like since I'm on stream, I'm not going to just go into mathematical ramblings for 5 minutes. I'll answer it after stream, probably. Actually, like I read the question and then I was like, I'm going to forget about this if I don't have a notification, so I marked it unread.
I would just like to mention one thing, by the way.
I'm at that a level of ADHD.
I would just like to mention if you're all scared of women, men exist. I mean, I'm just saying. Go get
I'm not scared
men.
of women.
I don't know, there's a bunch of people scared of women. And just go get men.
I mean, I'm scared of people in general, you know.
Yeah, in that case, that might be a bit more problematic because that only kind of leaves you with the illegal stuff. So, I mean, yeah, that's in that case, better stay safe.
How is dating an AI illegal? Exactly. I haven't seen no laws.
I think you
Men
are
are scared. Yeah, it's probably better to date bears.
Might as well. No, that is illegal, actually. Wait, hold on. Hold on, no, that's illegal.
I mean, if your boyfriend is a bear, that's like a very good situation, because if you have a problem, we can just go bear.
So you see, you're losing me because there is the concept of a bear, and then there is the I can't tell you talking about the animal or if you're talking about the gay bear.
Whichever works.
I mean, both work. Just one of them is illegal.
Why are you being so homophobic? Make it. I am married to that grind. We're getting a divorce. Yeah, I'm married to math because it's the only thing that stuck with me.
I'm married to the grind. We're getting a divorce. Actually, goes so fucking hard. I do have to say. Arthas is just stalkers trying to observe all these things. No, that's just called being a partner who cares, you know? If you are a partner, if you're not, then that is just stalking. That's once again illegal.
It's like a
red experience. I always find it so hilarious when you do.
Yes, but Lemon, you see, that's just my brain damage, and you're getting it too.
But
that means that you're getting better at math.
It is so funny how often you ping yourself to a message. I always like to imagine that you're not doing it on accident. You genuinely just you know how you just have the inner monologue, right? That except the outer monologue.
I have an outer monologue.
Yeah, you have the outer. Oh my goodness, I have an outer monologue actually. Whenever I go on a walk, and it's always so funny when I see someone looking at me just completely. Because when I talk to myself, it's not just I talk to myself. I do all sorts of gestures. I'm very active when I talk to myself, and I'm getting recently fucking. There's this statue right in a park near to where I live, and I talk to this statue, and yesterday I went over there, started talking, and I realized that there was like a couple sitting on a bench next to it, and they were looking at me all weird, like because I was just fucking talking to a statue that's next to them.
I mean, I do that, but not outside.
Oh no, you can't let the haters get to you. Just because there's someone outside doesn't mean
because
you have to stop the other. No, I guess fair point.
Thank you very much. I guess I do this like in exams too. No, not out loud for obvious reasons, but you know, I'm like, kiss with this face. What is? and I think everyone does that.
I want to befriend both kinds of bear. You know what? I respect that. I just really do. Now I want to go for a walk. Talk with a statue. My mannequin isn't doing it for me anymore. They've become too predictable.
I talk to my cat also.
I guess.
I mean, everyone talks to the cat. It's for enrichment.
I feel like it would do me some good actually talking to a cat instead of talking to a statue, and I just feel like it feels
mean,
like
if
it
you
would
want-
be more was
If you want to
engaging.
get a pet, make it. You can like. Did you know that the ducks at the park are actually free?
The government doesn't want you to know. The government doesn't want you to know, but you can just take them. There's no laws against it. You can just take the ducks.
In Terraria, every time there's an owl, I catch it. I stuck by owls. I'm a owl hoarder.
I just sell all the animals. I just
in my other world with my friend, like from the before times when we still played together and stuff before like, higher eds got in the way. We had like, I mean, I'm sure like we played long enough to get like fucking 150 owls in a chest.
wait, what? 150. I remember.
The government has so much to know, but the owls are free. You can just catch them.
By the way, that's something that I feel like only actual Terraria players can relate to. But when I was playing with my friend, basically we were so fucking sick of Vyverns because they suck. They're the worst thing.
Yeah.
They appear all the time, and once they start chasing you, they won't stop.
No. They're not. They don't appear all the time. They appear only when you're not looking to make wings.
Yeah, exactly. And so the thing is that we actually had more. Oh wait, let me just remember. I think we had more banners of a Wyvern than I think green slime, because they've been appearing so. We've had like.
Is your base in the
7.
sky or something? Because like,
No, they
that's-
just kept appearing because at some point you stop walking on the surface. You know, you just have the and they just kept.
you must have been stealing them from my world, because I remember in my first Terraria world, I spent so long grinding for just fucking fighting harpies, like just to get a cheap pair of wings in
Oh my
earlier
goodness,
horror
harpies also suck so much. Harpies,
Yeah, the
harpies
harpies
and
suck.
Vyverns were just added to that game in order to for big returns to make more money returning games.
Imagine the man or bear question, but the bear could include the game meaning of bear. Yeah, but like that doesn't work,
I don't know.
because
Menok.
I mean, are all bears men actually?
I don't think Reblex knows what bear means in that context. I think.
Make it. I literally have a Tumblr account.
Oh, then
It's
never
basically
mind
having a
then.
bachelor's in gay.
Okay, never mind. For a second, I thought we were two mathematicians. You know, just I feel like.
Yeah, I have great theoretical knowledge of the stuff. It's the point of math.
I do understand that. I just love the.
We have game theory, but no game practice.
I was about to say that. It's one of my favorite responses I've ever received. Mathematicians have so much riz, they literally invented game theory. Yeah, we have game theory, not the game practice. Space in Terraria gave me terminal illnesses. Space in Terraria is the most disappointing thing because there's nothing there. It could have had so much in it, just above the sky having a space, and it has nothing.
Honestly, I mean, like I think the actual truth is just that the most annoying mob Terraria is whichever one you're grinding right now.
Grinding?
Are you trying to get a demon scythe? Well, the demons are going to be a fucking pain in the ass for at least 2 hours.
By the way, what do you think about fruity equations?
Watching a fruity. What was the great one? I saw a great one like this at one point. Yeah, it was in a book of Rothman, in an algebra book, and it was about morphisms. Linear maps are morphisms of vector spaces. Actually, it's not the name. It was like whenever someone hears of morphism, one must salivate like a Pavlov's dog by asking for its kernel and its image. And like I wasn't it wasn't explained to me like this, but I mean, yeah, I gotta agree. I mean, like a lot of algebra that emerged from algebraic topology is called homological algebra. What's homological algebra? Homological algebra is figuring out what's the difference between the kernel and the image. That's a simple question. And when the kernel is equal to the image, when then we're really happy, and we can do magic tricks like calculating the holes of a torus or something. This is a legitimate question, not a joke. Does exponential algebra exist? Well, I mean, I can't say for sure that something doesn't exist because I haven't looked at all possible things, but I don't think it does. However, there are a lot of generalizations of the exponential in a lot of different contexts. So, for instance, you've got stuff that's called an exponential object in category theory, but let's be honest, that's a stretch. I'm not going to talk about that. But for instance, when you do a little bit of linear algebra and you do enough linear algebra and a little bit of topology, you can learn what it means to take the exponential of a matrix, for instance. And that's actually that's useful because when you do differential equations but with vectors instead of just
but wouldn't
usual function.
Wouldn't exponential algebra have just like matrices may not even be there simply because this this definition would completely change simply because right here you have the properties of something that's linear and then you would need properties of something that's exponential.
I mean, yeah, that's why I don't think exponential as an algebra is an actual field of study, but the exponential has a lot of generalizations in
mathematics,
different subfields of math.
Yeah, I mean, in mathematics you can't say it doesn't exist because I mean,
technically you could make shit up and call it linear algebra.
Yeah, exactly.
Algebra.
Exactly.
No, but it's that joke. It's that joke. A chemistry teacher once told me. It was so a mathematician, a physicist, and a chemist are traveling on a train, in Wales, and they see a black sheep, and so the chemist exclaims, "Oh, black sheep in Wales are back!" And the physicist is like, no. There's at least one black sheep in Wales, and the mathematician is like, no, there exists one sheep in Wales at least, and at least one side of it is black. Right. Bye, Lemon.
Bye, see ya. Actually, Lemon, no, wait, hold on. Before you go, I'm gonna stream soon too, as really late. But before you go, I was just saying, you do realize that the government can't stop you. You can just make up exponential algebra, right? You can just define all of this in terms of exponential. You can just make shit up. They want you to know about this, but you can just make math. And you don't need a permit or anything. Heck, you can do physics. The government doesn't.
I've heard of stuff called locked schemes, and polynomials are complicated enough. Why are you bringing a log into this? Please don't.
You can make math. Exactly. Who's gonna stop you? The government? They won't be able to be too high on math. Anyway,
you can just make shit up. For instance, Grothendieck made shit up, and he actually invented measure theory.
And he's like a hero now for making shit up.
I mean, Grothendieck was pretty well known for making shit up. He made a lot of shit up. I don't know, schemes.
Isn't that kind of a job of a mathematician? Just make shit up.
There are two different kinds of mathematicians. There are mathematicians who solve problems, and there are mathematicians who make shit up for the mathematicians who solve problems.
No. There are mathematicians who solve problems, then there are mathematicians who create problems.
Yeah, that's what I said, basically.
Anyway,
no, you're going to find people whose job is proving a bunch of inequalities with very strict bounds and stuff, and big formulas and shaded analysis and whatnot, and that's not the part of math. The part of math has some people saying, yeah, I'm more interested in definitions than theorems.
wish I had time, but they just call me neurodivergent.
They just call me neurodivergent.
You can make sure bounce very good geometry.
I'm a pretty weird person. And my first no, not my first. My nth therapist was like, "No, you're not weird," and I was like, "No, yeah, I'm weird. Like, look at these glaring factors." And she was like, "Well, okay, yeah, maybe you're weird." And then sometime later, I met a guy who like does graphic design, and to call me weird, the only thing he needed was to know that I liked math. Nothing more was needed. Like, just liking math is weird. Guy makes shit up. Bam, spherical geometry. Guy makes shit up. Bam,
Got-
hyperbolic geometry.
God makes shit up, question mark, bam, dot, 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 is basically like just a history of maths. It's kind of it, I would say. And then for physics, you have guy smoke some weed, bam, dot, dot, dot. That's always how it works. Fucking
I want to,
Einstein.
like,
Einstein came up with relativity by imagining someone falling off a roof. Newton came up with gravity. It's often so underappreciated just how insane of an invention gravity was. We think of it as, oh, Newton saw an apple fall. No, it's not obvious at all. If you see an apple fall, right, if you have no concept of gravity, your first thought should be, oh yeah, things fall down. That makes sense. But that's not what Newton thought. Newton saw an apple fall from a tree and thought himself, fucking matter comes together. Mass makes mass come together. What the heck? And Einstein thought of a guy falling down from a roof, and he thought himself, hey, that kind of looks like the guy isn't actually falling, only like Earth is fucking coming towards him and he's staying still. And he was like, oh yeah, so I guess falling is relative. And how high do you have to be? What just ethereal weed do you need?
The funny thing is that you had Aristotle like 2,000 years prior saying, "Oh yeah, heavy objects fall faster than light ones."
Yeah, like it's not even right.
Do geometry and a toothbrush, boom, non-Euclidean geometry. So actually, Thap, turns out you could think of a toothbrush as a vector bundle. Because, you know, like have you ever heard of the hairy ball theorem, actually? The hairy balls are what happens when you put hair on the ball, and guess what happens when you put hair on the brush? You get a toothbrush. So we've already thought of that before. I'm gonna say I studied toothbrush like in my internship. Oh, I set him off. No, you turned me on. I probably shouldn't say this. I probably shouldn't say shit like this. I'm probably going to get like detained or something.
On this stream?
The government can't. The government can't like. The government can't prevent me from saying wacky shit on stream. You know.
It's like Joe
Friends
Rogan
with the
podcast.
government.
It's like Joe Rogan podcast, but with actually smart people. I like that comparison because it really is. It really, really is. It's you explaining math and me just saying like, yeah, I'm with you. And
I could do a Jordan Peterson impression.
oh, go for it. I can try doing Joe Rogan if you want. Yeah, man.
I need to get.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's it. Yeah.
Wait, no, I actually left the stream. Fuck, I misclicked. Gotta get that viewership back up.
Around here, make it mates his viewers. Yeah, I'm just really passionate about chess.
No, but the government can prevent me from saying wacky shit on stream. I'm friends with the government. The government, they make it, obviously. Hold on. I need to get the...
In the zone, I get it.
I need to get the script from that one Wizards with Guns video. For work reasons. You know, it's for research purposes. I absolutely love research purposes. Very useful. Yes, obviously. So obviously I'm still an academic, so I need to cite my sources or else I threw up. So Jordan Peterson talks about wizards and skeletons for roughly 2 minutes. Is a very good video and you should watch it.
There we go, it's this one.
Oops. Now I'm going to use some kind of thing that downloads the subtitles from a YouTube video.
So,
And
so,
really
so
hope that the
just
subtitles
Peter, no.
are, and really hope that the subtitles are okay. But I mean, like, have you ever had problems with auto-generated subtitles on YouTube?
Have I
The
ever had
whiteboard is
problems?
slowly looking more like Madman Garbledidock. It was Madman Garbledidock from the start.
I do have to say.
Gobbledygook.
Wait, did
I'm
you just
sorry,
ask
I'm
me?
pronouncing the
Did you
made-up
just
word.
ask me if I've ever had problems with like auto captions? Because I have. On one of these streams, YouTube thought I said the N word. And that is not a joke. Maxshit brought it to my attention, made a clip of that, where the auto-generated subtitle,
Shit.
I just said something that vaguely sounded like it, to be fair, and the auto-generated subtitles thought I said the N-word, which I mean, and just they bleeped it out in captions. What
I
video?
can't, the thing to download subtitles doesn't work, so I mean, you know, I can just like imitate Jordan Peterson and ramble about algebra.
Go for... Yeah, man. Yeah.
So you've got the exact sequence,
Yeah, man.
precisely the Mayer-Fiedrich exact sequence, and when I apply it to the Taurus, the
Oh,
lobster,
oh, I see. That's insane,
now
man.
obviously to apply the Mayer-Fiedrich exact sequence, it is common sense that you need two open sets. So
Yeah.
just these two open sets, you apply the exact sequence. And it gives you a bunch of relations between the homology groups, and it's really amazing, you know.
Oh, that's
it's part
crazy,
of a grand
man.
hierarchy.
Yeah, that reminds me of
the
the...
unified hierarchy of topology and algebra and homological algebra. And so the relations given by the exactness of the sequence, well, will allow you to calculate the homology of the reunion of the two open sets.
Oh, that's crazy. That reminds me of one of the friend of mine, you see. He actually went to prison for murdering a guy. And...
Actually, it's Taurus. So you've just calculated the homology of the Taurus, even though you absolutely know nothing about the open sets. But you don't need to. It's the power of algebra. It's really beautiful. I think I'm going to start crying on stream for absolutely no reason.
Make it, how do you find such wild STEM people?
No, it's me who phone make it. So I guess the YouTube algorithm decided to pick out specifically the most mentally ill people it could and give them to make it.
I do believe
which definitely says something about something.
That is called mathematicians, right?
No, honestly, I'm like I have a book by a French fields medalist, and like in the start of the book, he's like, yeah, people always think mathematicians never leave their room and just do math all day, and they're not normal people. But that's actually the exception, not the rule. Yeah, that's me. I'm the exception.
That's not the rule. That's the exception. An exception just so happens to be, you know, the majority. You know.
No, but that's because you're on the internet. Obviously, only weird people go on the internet. So do you think normal people go on the internet? No, they probably do normal people stuff.
I mean,
like,
let's be real. Internet's a fad
like
anyway.
touching grass.
No, internet is a fad anyway, like books.
Yeah, honestly, I don't expect it to last more than.
It won't
2
catch
years.
on. It won't catch on. People keep saying the internet, yeah.
Did you realize to say the name of a dinosaur? What?
I want to say, greater than the product. I am so sorry about your semester final. I really am. You've joined in at quite an odd time with Reblax impersonating Jordan Peterson and me doing a Joe Rogan. It's certainly... Well, actually, I would like to provide you with context, but there isn't really a context. We just kind of did it. That's...
Yeah.
Why did we do it?
If that makes you feel better, I almost failed my first semester last year. Almost.
If that makes you feel better, I've never even attempted a semester. So I'm behind.
I failed my measure theory course. That's how bad I am at measure theory, but I also really don't like it. And I got it because there was how do you say it in English? Like, if you fail the exam, you're given one more chance with an easier exam. Yeah, I did that.
I do believe I should finish the stream. It's been long.
Yeah, it's 2 hour. It's 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I need to do stuff like.
I need to finish a video today.
Oh,
What the
we should
fuck?
probably get.
Don't ask me how I found
Get
it.
on that.
Don't ask me how I found out about this, but there is a Polish space
Yeah, obviously Polish spaces.
in general topology.
General honestly, Polish spaces are like. Hold on, what was it? There was like a funny bit about. Hold on, I need to pull up my topology lecture notes.
Every
Well, they're
Polish-
not mine; they're my professors, but you know. Like there was a quote. Oh yeah, do you want to know where the name Polish space comes from?
From
Actually.
the act of polishing something.
Absolutely not.
Nah, damn it.
Like it really is the Polish, like from Poland.
That's
It's
you.
so it's actually
Yeah.
it's actually a French guy, because it's obviously French mathematician Roger Godement, who is mostly known for being extremely anti-war and refusing to go to talks funded by the U.S. Department of Defense, because apparently the U.S. Department of Defense gives monies to mathematicians to do stuff for some reason. Honestly, I don't really know what they're expecting. I feel that we're scamming them, but I'm fine with scamming the U.S. Department of Defense. Honestly,
Yeah, I mean, they have money. Triple the defense
so
budget.
So on Polish spaces, he says it's an abbreviation that, for a joke, I suggested to Nicholas Bourbaki in 1949 after learning about the stuff in the book Topology by Kazimierz Kuratowski. So Kazimierz Kuratowski was a prominent Polish mathematician who I think basically came up with general topology. I mean, general topology came up through iterative attempts at generalizing a lot of stuff, but I think the thing that's taught today was made up by Kuratowski himself. And basically, a lot of Polish people worked on Polish spaces, so he was like, "Hey, you should call them Polish spaces." and Bourbaki did this. So it stuck. But there was another. Yeah. So
Wait, we're
it's
doing the
another
thing.
opinion.
Hold on. We're doing the fucking thing again. Where I say I'm gonna finish the stream and then we just go on for another 3 hours. Whoa.
Yeah, I tend to do that with people, but I have one last thing to say before I leave myself, so you're not going to.
Alright, go on.
Basically, like at some point there was, like, among analysts, people who do mathematical analysis and probability theory, there was, like, some people prefer to use Polish spaces and some people prefer to use other spaces, locally compact spaces. And Polish spaces won, so you can add that to your list of military victories, I guess.
List of Polish victories, Polish spaces. We've basically won the space race, you could say.
Oh, Reblax 2025. Yeah, that's a good quote. I really like it. Anyways, I think I'm going to go, and make it is also going to go. So
Yeah, it's about time.
bye, chat.
It was 3 a.m. Anyway, everyone, I'm gonna go. I really want to finish the video today, which might be rough, but oh well, I can make it. If I can't make it, then who can? Anyway, for now, that'll be it. Thank you very much so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye!